And good evening, my lovely lost tales, and welcome back to the Blue Rose Respite for my Wicked Wednesday stream. Tonight we are continuing with more Vampire Therapists. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, my lovelies. And thank you so much, Samuel, for pinning that content warning, just because this game will be dealing with some rather grim subject matter at times, because we're unpicking the minds and hearts of some vampires who very much need our assistance. How's it going, my lovelies? I hope you're all having a wonderful week. You know, it's very apt that I'm playing across all of this week. I feel like I summoned him by choosing back-to-back monster games to play, because something arrived in the mail today. Something that I've been hoping would arrive about this time. So, in my mail today arrived a certain someone who will safeguard my home against all supernatural threats. He's, I'm sorry, you just have to see him. So, for those of you who don't know, I am the voice of Elise Culpepper in Hunter the Parenting. And the makeshift campaign for the second plushie finished a while back. And they were shipped out. And, guess who arrived? Look at him! I'm sorry, I just can't get over how amazing he looks. Like, just look at that face. Look at that face. Look at it. I was thinking about it, and in some ways he feels incomplete because he needs a sword. So now I'm thinking, if I somehow have the funds to spare, or I'll go to a secondhand store and maybe try and find one, and thrift it, I want to get a sword letter opener and find a way to, like, stitch it to his back, so he's always got a sword on him. Sorry. Because, like, I feel like a sword letter opener would be about, like, a claymore size, proportion-wise. But yes, my Big D plushie arrived. And I love him so much. He's going right back up on the perch beside Kevin. Stay. There we go. So, my lovelies, how have the past couple of days been for you? I hope it's been well. I've been busy. I've been tired. I've had a sore tummy, but I'm being brave about it. But I hope you're all doing well, my lovelies. I've been hard at work on my next ASMR tale. I finished all the special effects, atmosphere editing today, so the final audio is done. I've just got to put the video together, but that is for tomorrow's stuff to worry about. But I hope you're all doing well. I'm very excited to see what happens next with Vampire Therapist, and I have to keep in mind, not everyone needs therapy. I feel bad I kind of fucked up last time with accidentally giving therapy advice to, our wonderful bartender. I think her name is Crimson. I could be wrong. Also, I'm going to try and maintain my composure a little bit better and have some level of discipline around just how hot some of these vampires are. Crashing out over not getting the new legendary cookie costumes. Scaracomi, don't beat yourself up. I've been saving for like maybe a month and a half, 2 months, and I play Cookie Run Kingdom every day, so I've been saving up the jellies for the costume gacha for like 2 to maybe 3 months or something like that, because I knew when this would get released they would have like legendary costumes come out with them, so I was saving it up for that. That's how I was able to get the one for Eternal Sugar. So don't worry, literally the update just came out today. Don't beat yourself up, you've got plenty of time. I'm wonderful, Stephanie. I've decided to try my hand at making jerky on my smoker, so I'm getting a pork loin and going to marinate small strips of it in teriyaki sauce before throwing it on the smoker. Commercial jerk is so expensive. Good plan. Make your own shit, and it's going to be all the more delicious. Absolutely. My girlfriend said she's going to fund my costumes pools when she gets paid. I did cry happy tears. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. And casting a begone tummy ache on you. I'm doing better. I took some painkillers earlier tonight, so I should be fine. Honestly, it's just cramps. It is the way it is. get them really, really bad whenever it happens. So I'm good, I promise. I took some painkillers earlier, so I should be golden for tonight. It's been going alright. Had a pretty stressful day today, but I'm super excited to see more vampire therapists today. Good, that's what I like to hear. Okay, so you guys ready for more vampire therapist? Because I most certainly am. Okay, we've got some moody broody violin going. Managed to keep my party from dying during the D&D session last night since I played the cleric. Saying we fought a horde of zombies sounds way cooler, but we nearly all got crushed by a bunch of falling rocks. No, Storykeeper. I'm so sorry. That is like low-key hilarious, but I'm so glad that you were able to save your party. And honestly, it sounds like you managed to make it through by the skin of your teeth, so kudos for you. Doing your role properly. Proud of you. Okay, so let's see what these vampires have to tell us. There we go. I'm gonna try and keep my composure around Vampire Daddy because he's just so hot. Yes, before we continue, thank you for reminding me. I am indeed raising funds over the course of this month for Mermaids, which is a UK charity that supports trans and non-binary and gender fluid youths in the UK and their families to help them live their best lives. So any amount that you can donate towards my charity of choice would be hugely appreciated. Even $1 or $2 goes a long way. The charity is going to be running until the end of the month, so as much money as we're able to raise for them would be fantastic. I've set the goal at £200. If we exceed that, that would be incredible, but it would be really, really cool if we could hit that mark by the end of the month. So thank you so much to everyone who's already donated, and let's jump into Vampire Therapist. It's such a helpful charity. It really is. They do a lot of good work. Because this is my first charity fundraiser, I did a lot of research into a couple of different charities, and just given how things are in the UK for the trans community, I wanted to pick a charity that was specifically helping better the lives of trans youths here in the UK. I've been helped by them growing up. They're 100% worth donating to. Scaracomi, that makes me really, really happy to say that. Because there's so many amazing charities out there, but to have like first-hand experience saying that they're really, really good people, that you have been actively helped by them, is really, really good to hear. Thank you for letting me know. Alrighty. So, Andromakos. Good evening, Samuel. I hope you're feeling well rested. I have a new client for you. Do you now? Hang on.
Another one. I think my caseload's starting to get a little crowded.
Oh, look, a first hydrate check. I wonder what caused that. Not at all, Andromakos' gorgeous voice and face and everything else.
Worry not, my friend. I shall not unload all the world's cares onto you.
You can if you want.
I know how strongly this next client requires aid.
Good thing I'm up to the task. So I'm sorry. I just... Focus.
She is a great deal older than most of the clients you've seen, and sometimes it is harder for the elderly to see reality. It took me far too long to do so.
Must have been the wind, Steph. Can't imagine why you'd already need a hydrate check. I know. Shocking. Shocking, right?
She's as old as you are?
Not nearly. Thus, she should be more ready for change than I was.
God, he's hot.
Intake form.
Wait. Met? 1804, female from the Bronze Age. An elder vampire like myself, Medi has lived mostly alone for the past 2 millennia. She grew up among wanton violence between Irish clan warlords and has since kept distance between herself and mortals. She now spends more of her time online, where she has become a streaming celebrity. I do not know what this means, but perhaps a younger vampire might. She has expressed frustration at the increasing demands of her followers. Suggestion: be patient with the elderly. So I'm kind of familiar with certain aspects of Irish folklore. And if this is who I think it is, I'm very excited. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Oh, is the game a little on the quiet side? Let me just boost that a bit. Okay, let me know if that's better.
Dang, She died young. Makes me wonder why I waited so long to kick the bucket. Could have left her nicer looking corpse.
Alas, death does not often allow us to have much choice in the matter.
Hey, Sophia, how's it going? Is that volume a little bit better, or do you want me to increase it a bit more? Hang on.
Says here she doesn't leave home unless she has to.
Indeed, it is
Sounds like me.
as elder vampires can often be.
I sure do hope I can help her.
You will do your best, I know. Let me allow you some privacy. She comes.
Okay, take a seat.
Hello.
Oh, she's cute. Oh, she's really cute. Hi.
Hey there, how do I say your name? Is it, Medbub? Medb?
Mev is my real name. Medby's just my screen name. You can call me Meddy if you like.
Oh, she's so cute.
I'm Sam.
Is that all you are?
I couldn't rightly say. I ain't no more or less than Sam.
You're a cute, strange cowboy man.
Oh, I need to know who her voice actress is. She's got such a beautiful voice.
I don't know that you should be calling your potential therapist cute, miss.
Not in a touching bodies way. I mean, you're more like a rabbit or a mouse. Oh, I want to dress you up in a little
Oh.
mouse onesie and watch you scurry about.
Oh, she's adorable.
You can keep your hat on and be a little cowboy mouse. Oh, I like that very much.
Okay, so Mebd is so there's a lot of untangling when it comes to Irish mythology, where there's a mix between some historical figures and then there are aspects of individuals from mythologies, distinctly from mythology. Mebd is often considered to be one of the aspects of the Morrigan. The Morrigan is distinctly an otherworldly female deity, one that is very near and dear to my heart. Mebd is... She fluctuates between being separate in some interpretations as a standalone figure and an actual person from Irish history, and then she's also in the way that saints or historical figures would be then reinterpreted as mythological figures. She is also then believed to be one of the aspects of the Morrigan, but she can also be interpreted as a standalone historical figure. I hope that makes sense. But I love her. I love her.
I'd keep you in a little cage and give you lots of cheese and of course a wheel to run on.
I mean, you guys would probably sign up for that.
You can be my whiskery little pet.
What is the matter, Samuel?
I think I'm out of my depth here, Chief. I ain't keen to be anyone's pet.
Chat, I think she's looking for volunteers. Who's going to put their hand up? If Sam doesn't want to do that, which is perfectly within his right to be not okay with that, who wants to sign up to be Maddie's little pet? Dress in a little cute little onesie, run around a cage.
Older vampires such as myself can sometimes be uncomfortable to be around. I believe this will be an
Not to
excellent
me,
challenge
baby.
in setting boundaries, Samuel. Explain to her your boundaries. You will be modeling positive behavior and saving yourself a little trouble.
Yeah, just a little.
Are we the cowboy or the lady? We are playing as the cowboy Sam. He is the therapist who is dispensing advice to the clients that come and sit in the couch on the right-hand side of the... on the right-hand side of the screen.
All the more reason to be clear and polite right now. Good luck, Samuel. I know you can do it.
Don't go away. I want to hear you talk more.
You look distracted, little mouse. Have you smelt a bit of cheese? Did your whiskers twitch?
All right, miss, before we
Stop.
keep going, I think we need to set a few boundaries.
Okay, it seems that half of chat was willing to take one for the team. Okay, good to know.
First of all, I ain't gonna wear no onesie. I don't think I could find one that'd fit.
I'm sure we could.
I could sew one for you. I would make the neck hole really big so that your funny hat would fit right through it.
Okay, well maybe I wasn't being clear. I don't want to wear a onesie.
But it would make me happy.
Well, wouldn't make me happy, miss.
Fine. But I don't like it.
I don't eat cheese.
I don't eat cheese, you know that. We only drink blood anyway. Mortal food doesn't exactly agree with us.
But a mouse who doesn't eat cheese is hardly a mouse.
But I'm not a mouse.
Then why do you have twitchy whiskers?
I just like the way they look.
So do I. That's why I think you should eat some cheese.
Well, I ain't gonna take it or leave it.
Wait, is she like this with her fans? And that's why she's coming to therapy, because she can't like put the boundary between herself and her fans? Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Very mean for a mouse.
This stuff about putting me in a cage and making me your pet are things you should be doing with a blood partner.
Indeed.
Besides, I make the rules about my own body. If I don't want something, you gotta respect it or find a new therapist.
You don't want me to do things to your body.
That's why it's important to ask consent from people, as chat is willingly putting enthusiastic consent in chat.
You cut that out. I'm serious now.
Very well. Be that way.
I think that about covers it.
Very well. It's a little boring. People usually let me do what I want to do to them.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Well, this is less boring then. It's something new.
I suppose you're right. It's very clever, strange cowboy man. May I still call you a mouse from time to time, though?
If it'll make you feel comfortable, I guess it ain't hurting me. But let's get to you and why you're here. Now, it said on your intake form that...
She's overworked, isn't she?
You're overworked, it said. You're not my first client with that problem. What line of work are you in?
I play video games.
Video games? Like Star Invaders?
Oh, something a little bit more complex than that, dear.
No, silly. More like Overcharged 2 and Pension Impact. More of an FPS and RPG girl.
I'm not so much an FPS person, but I'm an RPG girl, and I can respect that.
I don't know what them things are. I kind of figured video games were just a fad, like collecting ferns was in my time.
Video games are lots of fun. There's even one where you get to play a cowboy and kill bunches and bunches of people.
Okay, to be fair, Sam would probably really vibe with Red Dead Redemption 2, so... Maddie, you might need to point him in that direction.
Then you get to pretend you feel bad about it. But after that, you kill even more people.
Shucks, that there might give me some flashbacks. But you're working by playing video games? How's that?
Oh god, it's like me explaining it to my dad.
I stream on Glitch. I have millions and millions of followers there.
Wait just a gosh darn minute. People are paying to watch you pee?
What?
Of course not. That sort of thing would be on my Only Zealots page. If I could pee. Which I can, because I'm a vampire.
Alright, you gotta walk me through this.
Let's do the other ones first.
What's all this RPG and FPS stuff?
Role-playing games and first-person shooters.
Kinda dark to be playing games about the first person you ever shot. That ain't a good moment.
Oh, honey.
You're extra silly. It's a video game with a first-person perspective. It only looks as though you're shooting someone. I like the ones where there's lots and lots of blood. I end up feeling quite hungry.
Are they still using corn syrup to look like blood? It never looked realistic to me.
They don't use corn syrup in video games.
Oh.
You're very funny.
I feel like Cowboy Sam would like games like Stardew Valley more. He has farm simulator vibes. You know what? I can fully see that. I imagine he would maybe try something like Red Dead Redemption 2 and then maybe get flashbacks that would make him uncomfortable and then just be like, what's this Stardew Valley game? And then he would just like lock in and spend hours just making a lovely quiet little home for himself, finding a partner in the village, settling down, making the space around him better. Just...
I'm glad I'm funny, I guess. Let me ask you something else about these video games.
What's Only Zealots?
What's Only Zealots?
That's a very special website where my very special followers get to see me do naughty things for money.
You've been around a long while. Do you need money?
No, of course not. But I do like having mortal blood bags who will do anything for me. They're very useful.
Get it, girl.
This whole thing makes me feel old.
But you're only a baby vampire, strange cowboy man. I'm glad you're not the kind of baby who poops and pees, though. That's quite icky.
She's interesting and
I had
weird.
some
I like her.
questions.
Okay, kind of speaking on that topic, let's get clarification on what streaming
What's
is.
streaming mean if it ain't paying?
Streaming means to share your computer screen to the internet.
Like watching the cinema, only instead of people shooting each other, it's you answering emails?
Maybe not.
Sort of. Mostly people just like to watch people shooting other people. Only it's little computer people that only look like people.
Clear as mud. I got some more questions about them funny things you mentioned, though.
Okay, I think we know enough though.
All right, I think I understand a little better. You're working pretty dang hard for all them followers. What do you need them for?
Lots of things. They pay my rent for me, buy clothes and gifts for me. They dispose of all the bodies. And they let me kill them too. They're also eager to die. Poor little lambs.
I bet she runs a cult. I bet she legit runs a cult because... Oh, there's, honey, we're gonna have to establish some boundaries. Sophiac, thank you so much for the 95 bits. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh my god, thank you. You're so sweet, thank you.
They're like servants?
Servants, little sheep, whatever you'd like to call them.
And they're willing to just up and die for you.
Oh, naturally. Sometimes all I have to do is smile for them. They find it enchanting.
She's got this down to a fine art. I need to start taking notes, damn.
And they quite like my breasts and vulva.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Does it make you uncomfortable to hear me say breasts and vulva?
I reckon I just wasn't expecting that level of candidness.
Breasts, vulva.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come on now.
Oh, but it's so much fun to watch your little whiskers twitch.
Okay, Maddie, you kind of need to chill and touch grass, maybe?
So, these followers of yours do a lot of work for you, huh?
But I have almost 100 million little sheep. It's rather difficult to manage them all and keep them happy.
Why do you need to keep so many servants happy?
I need my sheep. If I don't have them, I'll have nothing.
I think that's Nosferatu thinking.
Is it really true that if you don't have your followers, you won't have anything? Ain't you got other stuff you're interested in?
Suppose I enjoy reading and video games. And I can do those things alone. There's also playing games with my body.
Oh, yep, there's that.
Which Americans don't do. You like to shoot people instead. Bang, pow, ugh.
That ain't always true. But let's get back to what you were saying.
If I don't make them all happy, they'll turn against me.
You don't know that?
Oh, wait a minute. That's one of them double control fallacies.
A control fallacy? What is that, manling?
It's the idea that you either have complete control over something or no control over something. The idea that you can make everyone happy is something that ain't in anyone's power.
Mm-hmm.
And assuming you have no control and they'll all turn against you ain't true either.
That is true, I suppose. I can do things you couldn't dream of. But I won't show them to you because you're an American.
Ooh.
That is much appreciated, miss. And now about the stuff you were saying.
Hey Andy, how's it going? Welcome back.
All I'll be is the lonely, crazy girl with a flat full of stinky corpses.
That's labeling. Also, honey, considering how old you are, you should be able to know by now how to clean up after yourself.
Let's ease off them labeling terms. Don't go calling yourself crazy.
Oh, I am crazy. And I know how strange I sound to these short-lived creatures.
I reckon I might sound the same if I were around as long as you and seen some of the stuff you've seen. Besides, crazy ain't got any kind of real meaning. What's sane? You've been around a while, you know them definitions change all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose that's true. Don't think any of us are really sane.
I think that's a heck of a lot closer to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to look at my body parts anyway. Don't have much else to share, it seems.
What would this fall under? Is this disqualifying the positive? Like dismissing? Control fallacy. I don't know what this one is. Like, because it's not labeling. There isn't any labels in this. It's not should statements. Is it disqualifying the positive because she just thinks it's all just about her physical appearance?
Come on now, you've been
Okay.
around for nearly 2,000 years. How in the heck could you have nothing to offer? I'm sure you could tell me all sorts of things about history and the places you've been to and the things you've done.
And all the bodies you've buried.
If I talk about things I like, my followers abandon me. Fickle little bloodbags. They always like it when I show off, though.
That's a problem with your followers, not you. Don't go disqualifying the positive things about yourself just because they don't see them.
Very kind, Manling. If you were one of my followers, I might even let you live.
A very kind gesture, miss.
I can't help but think, though, I should make my little sheep happy. After all, they are willing to die for me.
Is that should
You
statement?
say you should keep your followers happy. Do you like it when they're happy?
Just because I kill my bloodbags doesn't mean I wish to be cruel. After all, they're so cute when they die with smiles on their precious little faces.
At least she makes their last moments, like, rapturous and enjoyable.
I'm glad to hear that, but here's the thing. When you say you should make them happy, you turn it into a responsibility. If you got 100 million people you should please, that's pressure you don't need. Get what I'm saying?
You are too sweet, little mouse. Like a sugar mouse. Someone might try to eat you.
Chat volunteers?
They already did. How do you think I turned into a vampire?
You make me seem very silly for worrying so much about my bloodbags. Not a very good vampire, am I?
You've just got a lot of heart.
Well, what's a good vampire supposed to do?
And my bloodfather used to tell me that we were supposed to be gods. Told me that we would rule all humanity. I imagine he'd be ever so disappointed in me.
Well, blood parents are always complicated. They like continuing their legacies, but people ain't too good at being anything but themselves.
Andy, that's exactly the name of the game.
I wish someone would tell him that. He's a very bad listener.
Well, you should be proud of yourself for getting away from him. I know it ain't easy.
I didn't leave him. The druid sealed him away long ago.
So he's just lurking out there.
He'll slow our soul when he escapes. And there will be nothing we can do. Oh, it's gonna be ever so much blood.
Is that Nosferatu thinking? Because that's do or die.
I think we can handle a vampire. There's a lot more of us now. And I bet the bastard ain't even heard of a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand. He's a wizard.
And I've got a fucking gun. Wizards are nerds you could easily punch.
The last I heard, wizards ain't bulletproof. Let's give ourselves a little credit.
Damn straight.
I ain't gonna worry too much about this fella. Besides, if he is coming back to kill us all, we only got so much time to enjoy, right? These dang followers of yours have got you stuck at home, though.
It's better this way. It's not safe outside.
Why do you say that?
Because there are bad people out there. They've tried to burn me, touch me, enslave me. They are cruel, horrible.
Is that labeling because she's labeling all of humanity as like that? Like, I don't want to dismiss her fears and experiences, but is that labeling?
I know you've been through some tough times, Mitty, and you got a hell of a lot of reasons to think people are all awful. But those experiences ain't the be-all and end-all. There's a lot of bad, a lot of good, and even more in between.
Maybe. But it's safer to assume that it's all bad. Mortals are very afraid, and when mortals are afraid, they are quite cruel.
That's more of that all-or-nothing thinking. There's billions of people out there now, and more differences between each and every one of them than you'd expect.
But I don't need to endanger myself anymore. I have my sheep.
I'm sure we'll get to talking about them real soon.
We can talk about them now. They help me stay in my flat. If I stay in one place, I have power. Instead of them burning me, I can burn them. And touch them and enslave them.
Is that control fallacy because you can't really control them?
With all due respect, miss, you're playing with sunshine here. Life is always going to change. That's the one thing we can be sure of. Your retreating from society is only going to make it harder to face the changes ahead.
Such as when the machines arrived.
What machines are you talking about?
The ones in the factories. The ones who made me leave the bog. Did not like that very much. Not at all.
Interesting.
Oh, look, I didn't want to upset you. You're here to handle the world a little better, and that means being honest about what might happen. That makes sense?
Yes. The machines keep getting stronger. I should be ready for them.
All right. Well, let's keep talking.
They used to call me Calich Namona, the witch of the bogs. I like it that way. I like it when they think I'm a monster.
Labeling?
Hold on a sec, Mitty. I get that there's safety in people thinking you're some kind of monster. But what I can't abide is you calling yourself one. Names have power. You know what they used to call me?
Fuzzy McWhiskers. Scaly Tail Sam. Ooh, Scurrying Sam.
Oh, all of those are cute.
They called me Slaughtering Sam.
Oh.
And as you might imagine, I didn't earn many friends with that name.
That's not very cute at all.
No, it ain't. I didn't feel cute neither. I felt like an evil bastard, and that ain't a good feeling.
It didn't say I liked being a monster. It just makes me feel safe.
Then let's find a way to help you feel safe without calling yourself a monster then, huh? But keep going.
If I want to be safe, I should show them what a monster I really am from the safety of my lair.
Should statements?
Well, why should you show them what a monster you are?
Oh.
So that they'll know to stay away, of course.
And is that the only way people will stay away?
It's the way I know. I used to put severed heads outside my cottage, but the policemen don't like that very much.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of get told off about that after a while, and they start to smell a bit.
So what if I said you should protect yourself by putting severed heads outside your place again?
Hey, Carmina, how's it going? Welcome back.
I'd say you should learn otherwise. The police can be very mean.
They can.
That's what I mean. Should doesn't allow a lot of wiggle room. It might seem like it's just words, but them words can lock us up tighter in a bank vault. But let's keep talking.
Living alone is the life I know, anyway. Well, I've known for millennia. I can't survive in society now.
Is that Nosferatu thinking, like, really dismissive? Oops.
The ancient vampires are very few. I can tell you with some certainty that your client is very good at hiding her true capabilities, perhaps even from herself.
Okay, then maybe this is disqualifying the
It's
positive.
the life I know, anyway. Well, I've known for millennia. I can't survive in society now.
You know
There we go.
You're what, some 1,800 years old? You're older than any government on Earth. You've seen the world change in ways none of us could dream of. Hell, you basically won the internet, and I can barely open up my Vmail program. You're way more capable than you're giving yourself credit for.
Absolutely.
I suppose that's true. But I'm not very good with real-life people. Unless I'm eating them.
You're still disqualifying the positive by canceling out all them skills you got. You can use all that modern lingo I barely even heard of. You dab, fam?
Sam, respectfully, never say that again.
That was ages ago.
See what I'm saying?
You are very clever, sweetling. It is easy to forget how small and weak mortals are. The world is a big place full of things that might try to hurt me.
Well, before you face the world, why don't we start with your neighborhood? Let's start slow. Take a walk around your block, 15 minutes a day. Just spend a little time outside looking at the moon.
I suppose if anyone tries to hurt me, I should be able to kill them or enslave them.
That's the spirit, darling.
Very well, strange cowboy man. If anyone does kill me, I'll simply become a ghost. Then I can whisk myself up your bottom with a little ghost needle and poke at your guts.
Hell yes.
I don't think it'll come to that. Just spend some time outside and see how you feel, and we'll talk again in a month. Sound good?
Very well. I suppose my followers outside must be eager to carry my coffin home. I promised I would eat them when we got there, so shouldn't keep them waiting.
Damn.
Farewell then, little mouse.
Oh, she's so cute.
Ooh-wee.
Well done, my friend. You seem a little out of sorts. Are you quite all right?
Well, I'm fine now that you're here, Andromachus.
She was something else.
Sorry, I just, he's very distracting.
Like so many of our kind, she simply struggles to adjust to a constantly changing world. I think you will be of great help to her. She clearly likes you.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
You are under my protection while you are here, Samuel. I guarantee no ghosts will travel up your posterior. You have done excellent work tonight. Please, relax downstairs. Summer will be here before we know it, and the nights shall become short once again. Rest in peace, my friend.
We're downstairs for another refreshment.
I'm glad the kids here aren't glued to their little TVs. I wonder why that is. I'll bet Crimson knows.
Giddy up, little doggy.
Crimson.
Heard that one in a while.
Truth is, I'm running out of cowboy terms. What can I get you, handsome?
How about a kind ear for my troubles?
You got a real old school way of seeing bartenders. But in this case, you're right. I am a good listener. Lay it on me.
I got this new client who makes me feel old.
Oh.
250-year-old man feels old, huh?
Yeah. But seriously, I thought I understood people, but she's from another time, like. I've been around a long time, and I ain't seen nothing quite like this internet. But my client lives there.
And you think you can't help her because you don't understand the internet?
Oh, it's gonna be okay, sweetie. We got you. I think I did help her, though, in some way by giving some kind of grounded advice.
I reckon I can be of some aid. Just gotta figure out all this technology. My dial-up modem might not be up to today's standard.
Oh, yeah, we need to get you on fiber.
Maybe you were right. You are ancient. But I'm glad you're feeling confident, cowboy. A vampire who can adapt is a mighty fine one.
Gosh.
Here's the thing, cowboy. Nobody understands the internet.
Nope.
I don't feel old yet, though. Still just glad to be alive, thanks to Andy's blood.
Oh, yeah?
I know you've been curious about why I've been drinking vampire blood. You don't have to pretend. I've got a rare blood cancer.
Oh.
Andy's blood is what's keeping me alive.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm real sorry.
I didn't say I was dying. I said I had cancer. Stop making that face. I'm just glad I found Andy. Don't think I was quite ready to die.
I, for one, am glad you're sticking around, Crimson.
Well, thank you kindly. So what'll it be, Sam? You ain't gonna dance?
No, I ain't gonna dance.
Come on, Sam. Go
You
dance.
owe me that story one day, cowboy. Here.
Ooh.
have a little something I whipped up for Andy. Herbal blood tea.
Ooh, interesting.
No garlic, right?
No garlic.
Mighty kind of you. Maybe I'll take a nightcap. You have yourself a fine night, Crimson.
Adios, muchacho.
I think that's my last client for a while. My caseload's big enough. I'm starting to get overwhelmed. Maybe something from one of my books will inspire me. But then again, I could watch cartoons instead.
No, let's look at the books, because I feel like when we take the time to read and educate ourselves, then we learn interesting things that might help our clients later, I think. So let's read a poem.
I think I'll read a poem. I've got one I love. Carrot one, Walt
What then?
I celebrate myself and sing myself. And what I assume you shall assume. For every atom belonging to me, as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. My tongue, every atom of my blood, formed from this soil, this air. Born here of parents born here, from parents the same, and their parents the same. I, now 37 years old, in perfect health begin, hoping to cease not till death. Creeds and schools in abeyance. Retiring back a while, sufficed at what they are, but never forgotten. I harbor for good or bad. I permit to speak at every hazard. Nature without check, with original energy. Just a little reminder that I'm still human.
It's a beautiful poem.
I think that's enough action for one night. Time I got me some shut-eye. Good night, son.
Also, I'm so jealous. His coffin is so cool. Why can't I have a coffin like that? Please?
A fine evening to you, Samuel. How are you feeling tonight?
Better now that you're here.
Not bad, not bad. A little overwhelmed, but guess I kind of have a lot going on these days.
Indeed you do. The mind is an easy place to get lost in, is it not?
You ain't kidding. Keeping all them cognitive distortions in my head and sorting through all my clients' problems ain't easy.
We are not machines, Samuel. I believe you will find that you can never handle everything at once. There is a term the mortals use these days, multitasking. It's a kind of meta-control fallacy. Even we must handle thoughts one at a time.
I guess. I just hope I can concentrate on my own therapy with all this stuff bouncing around in my noggin.
I do not expect you to be an exception to the rule, my dear fellow. Let us see whether we can clear your head. I would like to introduce you to a ritual I have learned for stealing the mind.
Okay.
This some kind of ancient vampire secret? Something the old ones gave you that's been lost to time? Something mortals could never imagine?
No, it's just meditation.
Uh-oh.
That does not make the technique any less valuable. Now then, close your eyes. I will guide you through this process.
Sure thing.
Think of a place that brings you comfort. Where is it?
An empty library full of books.
I'd have to say the woods. I always liked being in nature.
Then imagine the woods and let your thoughts come to you. Be attuned to your body. Breathe, and you will be able to address your thoughts and clear your mind.
Your voice is so distracting.
Now close your eyes and begin.
First breathe in, press and hold. And then out. Okay. Watch as breathing slows down your thoughts. Last to clear a thought, hover over it.
I ain't cut out for this therapy thing. And it sure is a tall glass of water. I miss my princess. I kinda miss farting. Focus, Sam, focus.
Breathe in.
Who's got a pretty mane?
In. I'm kind of wondering what thoughts I'm supposed to really acknowledge. I think maybe the one about my horse, maybe? Also, I can't believe he called his horse Princess. That's adorable.
Wonder what's on Batflix.
Hang on. I think I'm supposed to acknowledge the more heavier thoughts.
Should I hook up with Reinhardt?
I mean...
I'm so bad at meditating.
I think some of these are supposed to be just like fluff thoughts that are bouncing around.
white blood from San Antonio, not New York City.
I've been to San Antonio. It's pretty cool there. I mean, I'm going to acknowledge that Andy sure is a tall class of water.
Vampire hunters here.
Acknowledge the thought.
Who's my favorite horse? Is it you?
I think this is also maybe supposed to, like, quiet the thoughts as well by acknowledging them. Because there is a button to skip this if we want. Okay, so I think we're just kind of supposed to breathe in and out while our thoughts have quieted. I really should get back into meditation. How much longer are we supposed to do this? Andromachos, I think my mind is quiet enough. Are we done? So yeah, there aren't any new thoughts popping in. I'm just going to keep breathing for just a little bit longer and then I might skip this because I'm not quite sure if there's anything else I'm supposed to be doing. Because yeah, I'm clicking other... That was... sudden? Hang on. That knocking sound wasn't me. In... out... in, out. What was that knocking noise? So is there anything else I'm... Hang on. Not sure about what this minigame is like because all the thoughts are gone, but I'm still here. Like, honestly, I think I might skip this just because I've been here for a while. I can't really see anything else I'm supposed to do. And I get this is supposed to be meditative exercise, but it kind of slows everything down when you're streaming it, so I'm going to skip this.
How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling better, though. It was nice to take a moment to breathe.
Yeah, all right. Fine, really. All them thoughts just feel like thoughts.
What sorts of things came up for you?
Well, I thought about my clients. I thought about all them cognitive distortions. My horse came up a lot.
Your horse?
Yeah, Princess. She was my horse back when I was alive. I still think about her every day. I can't really stop.
I understand. I have bonded with many horses in my own life, but it sounds as though the loss of Princess was particularly fraught.
Oh.
Yeah,
Would you like to start there?
not sure I'd like it. But seeing as it's come up, maybe we should talk about what happened to her. It's got a lot to do with my old gang. I mentioned them before. Well, the Mystic Bastards was their name. They were the gang to join if you had nothing to lose, and I had nothing to lose.
That sounds like some Nosferatu thinking, my friend.
Oh, I can see that now. But it turned out I still did have something to lose. And they took that from me to prove my loyalty. They took my princess.
Oh.
Killed her in cold blood. And made me watch the whole thing.
No.
They made sure she saw me too.
Oh, Samuel, I am so sorry.
I just stood there, watching her dying, with them big eyes looking at me like she knew I betrayed her.
No.
They knew what it would take to break me. And it's my fault for letting them do it.
But Samuel, these Mystic Bastards, it sounds as though these loyalty tests were a cruel, mechanical part of their indoctrination process.
It does. It sounds like hazing in the worst way.
These are the actions of a cult. They had no special care for you or your princess.
Well, it sure as shit worked. They knew where to hit me, and it's my fault for letting it happen.
What they did,
No.
Samuel, had little to do with you personally. You were vulnerable, and they took advantage. This is what cults do. But Samuel, you are exhibiting a cognitive distortion known as personalization. You are attributing the Mystic Bastard's actions entirely to your own supposed failings. While it is natural to grieve for your horse, holding yourself solely responsible is neither fair nor accurate.
Hold on a sec, my head's hurting. I can't hold on to all them distortions all the time. Ain't personalization a lot like a control fallacy?
Okay, so a lot of people are confused by that minigame. It has a page addressing it. Okay, thanks for looking that up, Sam. I'm glad that we're able to skip it then in that case.
An astute observation, Samuel. Personalizations are often a form of control fallacy. While control fallacies often manifest as a belief that you have more control over external events than is actually the case, personalization is a more specific tendency to believe that external events are reactions to you. But let us leave control fallacies out of the picture for now. You are correct that keeping all distortions in mind at once is unrealistic. I would not interrupt your thoughts if I did not think personalization important. You are shouldering the blame for Princess's death. I can see that.
Well, if it ain't my fault, who else's is it?
The cults.
Mystic Bastards, of course. Let me put it into perspective for you. I will make a series of statements, and you help me identify the personalization distortion.
Anything for you?
I overslept in my coffin because I forgot to set my alarm. I beat Crimson's neck last night and missed the vein because I was distracted. It was entirely my fault.
Maybe that one, but I don't know.
Batflix raised my subscription price again because they knew I would pay no matter what. I forgot to go to the dentist, and that is why I have cavities.
That one could also be personalization. It could be other factors as well.
Did you miss my personalization? Let me start over.
It might be the one with Crimson, actually.
I slept in my coffin because I forgot to set my alarm.
No, that's logical.
I beat Crimson's neck last night and missed the vein because I was distracted. It was entirely my fault.
Is that the personalization?
That's the personalization. There's a million reasons why you might miss a vein. Sometimes finding the right one can be tricky.
But I admitted that I was distracted. In this case, I am clearly the cause of my accident, and it is no distortion to say so.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense.
Let me continue. Batflix raised my subscription price again because they knew I would pay no matter what.
Is that it?
Well, that's the personalization. Batflix has no earthly clue who you are. Well, they just raise their subscription prices anyway.
Yeah.
Just as your gang planned to isolate members from their former lives. Do you see the connection?
I guess so. I was just too stupid to see it at the time.
Ah, calling yourself stupid is what distortion?
Labeling.
Yeah, it's labeling. But I should have known anyway. I knew that crew was bad news. I just thought I was bad news too.
You should have known. That's another distortion of reality, Samuel.
All right, fine. Should statement, whatever. So what the hell am I supposed to do, Andy? Say nothing's ever my fault and I don't gotta know nothing?
It's okay, Sam.
I was responsible for getting that beautiful horse killed.
No.
She trusted me, and if I'd been someone else, she wouldn't have had to die in that awful way.
I am not asking you to lie to yourself. Far from it. And I am not suggesting that you absolve yourself of all responsibility.
Weaver, thank you so much for the £5 donation towards mermaids. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. You've already given so much on on Monday's stream. Like, every little bit counts, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Weaver.
But what would you say if a friend came to you with the same story? Would you tell them what they should have done? Would you call them stupid? You said yourself that you joined your gang because they were the gang to join if you had nothing to lose. I do not think this is a circumstance most people choose.
Yeah, I suppose.
Remember, Samuel, we are trying to reframe our thinking by clarifying these distortions. I know it may feel as though I am picking on you, but I am not. Let us forget what you should have done to make room for a different distortion. You are drawing a direct link from your emotion to the death of your horse. This is a distortion called emotional reasoning.
Okay. I will say, the fact that they keep changing things up with different methods, it's kind of throwing me for a little bit of a loop. So now I'm just like, at the moment I think I'm on top of things, they add some new things into the mix. So, great, great.
I understand the guilt you feel, Samuel, but your guilt does not act on its own. This terrible thing, it did happen. And some choices you made undoubtedly created the circumstances for it to occur. You are not blameless. But let us restrict your blame to what you have actually done.
I'm sorry. I get awful worked up when talking about my princess. You should have seen her, Andy. She had these eyes. She looked right into my tainted soul and still loved me.
Okay, what I might do so that you guys can see our lovable vampires a little clearer. Let me just move me a little bit so you can see the beauty that is Andromachos. So I'm a little bit lower. Yeah, that seems about right. Great, now you can see, just because sometimes the framing cuts some of the vampires off when they take up that side of the screen, so hopefully now you can see them a little bit better. Yeah, so now you know why I was getting so flustered.
We feel tremendous guilt when we fail an animal. When we look at reality, it is not to dismiss our burdens, but to process them fairly.
He's so hot. So hot.
I would like you to understand emotional reasoning so you can see how emotions color our thoughts. Please listen and call me out when I am using emotional reasoning. I feel anxious. Perhaps it is the garlic naan I smell from the Indian restaurant next door. The mood in my club is somber tonight. I am sure it is a reflection of my own dark mood.
Let me just have a look at it again. 1 second. So when we act like our feelings represent reality, but no matter how unhappy we are, feelings alone don't define the world. I think that one might be it about the club. I get the shivers walking into this ghost town, so it's got to be haunted. I feel uncomfortable around them young vampires. They must be up to no good. Is that emotional reasoning?
That's the emotional reasoning right there. I don't think them folk in the club know too much about how you're feeling.
Exactly. Our emotions can feel all-encompassing, and that is purely biological. We are animals, Samuel. There is a small cluster of brain tissue at the base of the cranium that tells us we are safe or that we are about to die. The complexity of our existence is at odds with our biology, but we have the logic to recognize it.
I'm just going to save quickly before I get too carried away. Yes, overwrite that. There we go.
Well, if reincarnation's a thing, I think I'd rather come back as a horse.
That would be adorable.
It is indeed a boon and a curse to have human complexity of thought.
No kidding. If I were a horse, I'd know better than to join any cowboy gang, let alone the Mystic Bastards. I'd be happy with a bag of oats and a field to run around in.
How did you end up with the Mystic Bastards in the first place?
Well, like I said, I didn't have much choice. Nobody would have taken me in at that point, except a hangman, maybe. I wasn't a vampire yet, so hanging didn't sound too appealing. The last job I did got my brother killed. And after that, my wife left with my daughter and I never saw him again.
No.
Can't say I blame her.
Is this feels like the first time he's mentioned that he was previously married. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that is... God, that hurts.
I didn't have nobody. Ain't no surprise that a vampire gang would be the only people to take me in.
Aha, so that is how you turned.
Yes, sir. It wasn't pleasant. Not the candlelight and writhing body sort of affair you see in mortal vampire stories.
I mean, there's many ways to be turned into a vampire, and I've read many books about it.
That is terrible, Samuel. The turning is never easy. How did they find you?
That job that got my brother killed, we partnered up with one of them mystic bastards for it. He knew where to find me.
And he knew you were vulnerable, and that you had no place to go.
I've thought about that. Were they setting me up all along? Maybe. But whether they were or not, I really didn't have any place to go. I know when them wanted dead or alive posters go up, folk find dead easier and more fun. People saw me as outlaw scum when I was a kid, and there was no way they were going to be kinder knowing I was in a gang.
You know this for a fact. You are certain that no one would have any pity on you at all. That your only recourse was to join your gang?
I guess I don't actually know that no one but the bastards would have taken me in. Sounds like a cognitive distortion, huh?
Andrew Marcus's voice is so majestically deep. Oh my god. Like, yeah, I absolutely 1000% agree. That's why was so flustered by some of the things he says. Like, because a really nice voice is one of the things that I find most attractive about a person, because I love having long conversations with a person, like just hearing another person speak about what they're passionate about, and like having a really interesting conversation about like art and literature and culture and all kinds of things. So they have to have a nice voice that I can listen to, and he has a really nice voice.
I think you see the patterns now. It may seem like pedantry, and perhaps it is, but pedantry is the search for ultimate truth.
Spoken like a true pedant.
It comes with being terrifyingly old.
It's illegal to laugh like that, sir. God, 1 second. I'm doing a self-imposed hydrate check. 1 second. Stephanie, have you heard your own? Oh, I am intimately acquainted with my own. There have been times, and I don't mean to sound like a complete narcissist when I say this, but a lot of the time, like, I fully detach myself from my vocal performances so I can edit it with a more critical perspective and pick out the flaws and decide if I need to do retakes. It's really important when it comes to auditioning. But when I'm making my ASMR tales, and even sometimes if I do an audition and I, like, deliver a certain line that just, you know what I mean when I say just hits different, I kind of have to take a step back, like, do I need to talk to my therapist about this? Yes, no, maybe so. I'm going to use that take because hopefully my fans will have a similar reaction.
You discovered the cognitive distortion before I could point it out to you.
What if they have a nice voice but are passionate about something? Like, honestly, openly talking about passions is fantastic. Like, the nice voice is just, it's something that I just find deeply, deeply attractive because it just scratches my brain in a different way. They don't necessarily, like, have to have a guaranteed a definitive, nice, like, sexy voice or anything like that. But it certainly helps. Like, if someone says, like, oh, I prefer someone, like, with blue eyes, but they date someone with green eyes or brown eyes. It's, like, little things. Like, it's not an absolute, but just makes all the difference. Moon and I were talking about that, actually. Your line delivery is so good. Why, thank you. Thank you, Scaracopi.
It is a cognitive distortion similar to Nosferatu thinking. So let us put that particular distortion out of our minds for now. Yes, things were grim for you, but your experiences caused you to assume that there were none who would favor you with a kind eye. You were exhibiting the cognitive distortion of overgeneralization. The idea that no mortal could accept you.
Yeah, that's another thing.
This clouded truth made you vulnerable to the mystic bastard's approach.
Her voice is the host of angels and the choir of demons singing in rapture. Her words are the filament that holds the stars in the sky. Sam, you are too kind. Thank you for your kind praise. Seriously, thank you so much, Sam. It's very sweet of you.
Damn. Maybe you ain't wrong, huh? I should have joined the Foreign Legion or something.
Only the dead three deal in absolutes. Indeed, Lord Azul. Indeed, only the dead three deal in absolutes. And the Sith as well.
Dang it, should statement.
Your mind is not a cognitive distortion shooting gallery, Samuel. Cut yourself some slack. All we seek is recognition of our distortions, not perfection and not punishment.
Stop that! I'm having a time, sir. You need to chill.
Let us test your ability to recognize overgeneralization. Then I believe
Thanks for the
we have
hydrate check.
covered enough for tonight. Allow me to begin. Elder vampires are insufferable. They all think they know everything.
That's definitely overgeneralization.
Wait, ain't you an elder vampire? You don't seem like much of a know-it-all.
That's right, Samuel. Though in all honesty, I used to be quite insufferable myself.
No, I could never see that. You're perfect.
I aspire to be more patient these days. Let me continue. It seems to me that being a werewolf is pretty rough. Vampires from Transylvania all have funny accents. I want to suck your blood. Who talks like this?
Overgeneralization?
That seems like an overgeneralization, Andy. I ain't sure any of them ever sounded like that.
I'm sure at least one very loud vampire talked that way, and like that was the default of expectations.
Pretty sure they all sound American these days anyway from watching bat flicks all the time.
Correct, Samuel. I apologize for the offensive accent. It was employed only to prove a point. Well done, Samuel. Your ability to identify cognitive distortions continues to impress.
He's impressed with me, oh god!
But let us bring things back to you. I do not ask you to absolve yourself of the things you have done. You did not have the tools to be mindful of the thought patterns that made you vulnerable to the mystic bastards. I have seen mindfulness take root in you, though, Samuel. I hope this session has been helpful to you.
Yeah, I'm still sad. I'm still regretful about Princess. I think I'll always be. My not being mindful is what killed her. Every time I think about it, I just know I'm a terrible person who messes everything up. But I think the awareness helps.
And we have our first Pick My Voice of the evening from Sapphic Scaracomi. On the topic of voices, yes, the therapy game. Let's get in the character who needs the most therapy. Night Angel. Oh, I would be more than happy to oblige. Although, what are you talking about with therapy? I am handling things in my own way. If I need help, I will get help. Whisper so far has been wonderfully affirming and very helpful indeed. The Heroes Guild tried to get me to go to therapy, and I respectfully declined that offer.
It does. Then please tell me what cognitive distortion you just exemplified.
I don't think it's a cognitive distortion to say that everything is fine with me and my little star. They are perfectly happy in my company and don't at all cry themselves to sleep every night.
Was it emotional reasoning, overgeneralization, or personalization?
Was it all of them?
I guess it was kind of all of them.
Masterful deduction, Samuel. Your sense of self-awareness is most impressive. Remember, cognitive distortions are not a cudgel to beat yourself with.
That's what fists are for. Already using this terminology. I feel like I'm in an HR meeting again. God, the HR department hated me so much at the Heroes Guild. I mostly kept out of the way. I kept out of the newspapers for the most part.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. If we're spouting cognitive distortions all the time, ain't my clients gonna be mad at my constantly interrupting them?
You continue to impress. Yes, we cannot bully our clients with distortions. Thus, I find it is best to clear our minds and focus on a few during each session.
To be fair, not hating having poorly run HR departments is a character flaw. I'm sure there was some of the other heroes who put in requests for better HR representatives to make sure things were all up to standard and all that. I just kept to myself for the most part, and just ignored when HR wanted to have a meeting with me. I respectfully declined it.
Keeping endless distortions in mind is not easy for a therapist either, after all. I think we have done excellent work tonight, and I'm certain you've built up a thirst. I know this evening was emotionally intense. Ask Crimson for some scotch.
Oh, I could use a stiff drink.
Drinking booze ain't exactly compatible with our biology, Andy.
By scotch, I mean Scottish blood. It's iron-rich and quite delicious. I age it in whiskey barrels.
That sounds pretty nice. I might just do that and call it an early night.
As you wish, Samuel. Rest well, and do not lasso yourself so tightly, as you say. You are deserving of love, especially from yourself.
Lies. Lies. Oh. I don't like this game anymore. No.
I'm just gonna leave before I get more embarrassed.
Good. Let's get out of here, please.
Very well, Samuel. Rest in peace, my friend.
You will too soon enough.
Samuel,
Oh, great, there's
you
more.
received Dr. Drain again tonight, yes?
I'm not drunk enough for this. I feel like a cat whose owner is trying to get it into a bath. Is this what the HR meetings would have been like? Is this the court-ordered therapy that I was assigned? Ugh. This is insufferable.
That's right. I'm keen to see how he's getting on. That fella's got himself wrapped up real tight.
Do not expect too much change too quickly. It takes a while for thoughts to internalize, even when we know the truth of them logically. It took me only 2,800 years or so to internalize what I needed.
Oh, great. So I have time, then.
I don't think the doc's gonna be too keen to wait that long.
I do not think he will have to. Unlike myself, he has you to guide him.
Oh gosh, I barely know what I'm doing, boss. I'm not sure I can keep track of all these new distortions I know about.
I do not expect you to. We humans are distortion machines, my friend. But let us ensure we address Dr. Drain's core distortion. You know what it is, don't you?
This is disqualifying the positive.
It's disqualifying the positive, ain't it?
Dr. Drain does indeed exhibit this cognitive distortion, as we all do. But there is a distortion that truly drives his decision-making. I think you can tell me what it is.
That's right, it was should statements.
That fella's a should statement machine, I'll tell you what.
That's right. We can be certain he will carry this distortion with him. But I would like you to pick the rest to keep in mind, Samuel. Up until this point, you have addressed client distortions in small clusters. But now that you are aware of more cognitive distortions, you will notice them everywhere. We must not use cognitive distortions as weapons to beat our clients with. So pick 4 more to keep in mind during your session.
But what do I do if I detect he's showing the distortions I'm putting aside?
You do not need to address all of them, my friend. You will not catch every distortion, and if you did, I believe your clients would find you irritating. I do not alert you to half of your cognitive distortions.
So this is the light treatment, is it? Lovely. Great. Night Angel, would you consider therapy if it was requested by Little Star to benefit the relationship between you two? They're the one who needs to change, not me. Let's continue.
We know that Dr. Drain will exhibit should statements. What else do you think he will come to this session with?
I think Scolin's buying the positive control fallacy. Didn't seem to do much labeling, but overgeneralization and personalization. Oh, couples therapy. The thing is, if I attempted to go into a therapist's office, I'm sure I'd be arrested on sight. It's that thing, isn't it, whenever you confess to a priest, but it's something truly heinous and illegal, they're under obligation to call the authorities to intervene. I think it's also a similar thing with therapists. If you confess to something small like burning the parents of your partner alive, that might cause some issues. And let's just say I've scrubbed my presence from most of the rest of the world fairly thoroughly. I don't need some quack calling the cops on me. But I don't think there's anything wrong. I think things are going to get better eventually. We just need to keep persevering and just keep our heads down and pretend everything is fine. And with that, we're going to come to the end of that Pick My Voice. Thank you so much for requesting Night Angel Scaracomi. That was inadvertently kind of hilarious. Oh, but thank you so much for requesting her. Because, yeah, as I was, like, reading or having, like, her react to what Antonio Marcos was saying, I was just feeling more and more like a cat in a bath. Just, no! Oh, I know this is good for me, but I hate it! Just, like, no. No, thank you. And her just digging her heels in, just like, no, it's Little Star who's the one with the fucking problem. I tried to be nice. Okay, but seriously, with Dr. Jeroen, I think it's definitely should statements was their big thing. I think they also were disparaging and like disqualifying the positive of their own achievements. Control fallacy, they couldn't control other factors around them. Overgeneralization, I think, was another thing. I also personalization feels right when it came to their like digging into their own faults or beating themselves down in that way. So I don't think he really had labeling so much. Really tempted to animate this Pick My Voice. If you do, that would be incredible. Like an animatic or something like that, that would be incredible. Alright, but I think this is a good way to start.
I think I've got what I need now.
Very good, Samuel. I will leave you to it. Have confidence. It is well earned.
I guess I just gotta believe you. All right, Andy, I'll do my best.
I know you will. I will see you after your session.
I think I'm ready. And here comes the man himself.
Oh boy.
Dr. Drain, good to see you again.
Yes, well, I wish I could say the same. I have not had the most productive month.
Oh?
Back on this productive wagon, huh? Last time we were talking about all them should statements.
Yes, exactly. And what a waste of time that was. I took what we spoke about to heart, you know, like a fool. But the should statements, as you so tritely put them, were the only thing holding me together. You ignored the addiction problem I came to you with. Nay, worse, you told me it was fine. And oh, how eager I was to test that theory.
Oh, what did you...
I have partaken of my awful plasma almost every night. I am more monster than man now.
Okay, yeah, that's more labeling stuff, but we don't have that.
Sounds to me like we could be having a fruitful conversation about moderation.
I have a better idea. Seeing as you do not understand the gravity of the situation, I will make you understand. This is the plasma I've spoken of. Pure vampiric essence. I will show you how should statements are the remnants of our humanity. We should not be so quick to cast them away.
I agree with you that should statements are human, but that don't make them universal. That's the point I'm trying to make. There's lots of ways to live, Doc.
I kind of agree with him a bit. Most of his advice was good, but encouraging the addiction seems like a bad idea. I think in this context, it's a little tricky where it's kind of like it's a very much a gray area, because while addiction is very much a very loaded word to use, the reactions and effects of this seem to be more aligned with relaxation and allowing for relaxed social engagement and not being as high strung. And because it feels like so out of his control, that's why it's so frightening for him. So I think also with like the medical side of things, it's more aligned to like drug use than like alcohol use. But it's something like, maybe it's not as severe as a substance as something like, say, I don't know, ketamine or heroin. Maybe it's more something like weed or alcohol, where you have like just a little bit enough, but it helps relax you a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to dig more into this. And it's like, yeah, for medicinal use kind of thing. But because it's like trying out a new form of medication or a new substance, it just feels so strange to have this reaction to it a little bit, maybe.
That is exactly the problem, Sam. We don't live. And this is the result most dire. Witness the wages of our sin.
Now hold on a sec, Doc. I think we better...
The time for caution is over. Goodbye, Sam.
What in hell?
Hi.
Does it feel good to be alive? And who are you, darling?
Daddy? Okay, so it's a full-on Jekyll and Hyde situation. Okay. Good to know. One second. Sorry, my bust of Alucard just lost his tie. 1 second. That just caught me so off guard. Okay, hydrate check, thank you. Okay.
I'm Sam. I'm your therapist, Doc. You know that.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
My therapist. Oh, how wonderful. How absolutely pathetic. A vampire therapist. Oh, what a sad, pathetic waste you are, Dr. Drain.
You're so distracting.
Allow me to introduce myself, then. I am Lord Lyritus, and unlike that sad sack of quivering shit you've been talking to, I am a vampire. I kill, I drink, I fuck, and I'm dead sexy.
Can you get that on a hello, my name is? Giddy step is best step. Like, I'm especially giddy when it catches me off guard, and like it takes me a second to be like kind of blue screen of death for like my brain for a hot second, and then it's like, okay. Yeah, the glasses are interesting.
Weren't you wearing glasses before? I don't need glasses. Reading is what people do when they can't find anyone to fuck, which is not a problem I face.
1,000 book talk girlies are gonna come at you for that comment.
Oh, you're missing out, fella. I got into reading after I died, and there's whole worlds to discover in books.
Oh, you're so fucking boring. There's a whole world to discover up my arse as well.
Well, you don't have to be so crass.
Yes, I see it in your eyes. You're afraid, aren't you, American? Your Puritan blood chills at the sight of me. Maybe I'll warm it up before I drain it from you and turn you into a husk with a stupid hat.
Do you promise?
I wouldn't try it.
I'm not you, though, am I? And I am always hungry.
I suggest you stay right where you are.
Oh, damn. Okay. Where'd that come from? But good to know that Sam can defend himself if need be.
A vampire with a gun? Oh, how our kind have fallen. What are you going to do, cowboy? Kill me?
Nope, but I can make sure the next few months ain't fun for you. Oh, how very kind of you to
Hang
care
on.
about me, darling. It'll be our dear Dr. Drain who suffers. But I need the little worm for now, so I suppose I'll let you live. Mighty kind of you. Now you just settle on down and we're gonna have a chat. Ugh, talking. We are animals. We are not meant for talking. But very well. At least give me something to drink. I can rely on your piteous human blood to do me that kindness, yes? All right, but I'm watching you, hombre. Look all you like. The show is free.
Okay, this is interesting.
This is better than the swill I usually prefer. I'm more of a quantity over quality sort of creature. Yeah, I know your kind. I used to be a lot like you. And I suppose now you are just as repressed as the sad creature that exerts control over this luscious body of mine. More free than I've ever been. But don't you worry about me. Let's talk about you.
Yes, let's talk about you.
You're going to psychoanalyze me. I live according to my nature. You might as well interview a lion. Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm sure you are the way you are for a reason. You're not wrong about that. You know the answer already. Dr. Drain needs me. I am what is missing in his unlife.
I'm what's missing. Let me just check personalization again. Where? Should statements disqualify political control fallacy? Is that personalization? It could be personalization. Or is it control fallacy because you can't control the doctor? It could be control fallacy. He's giving off major purity from Hunter the Parenting vibes to me. You know what, Lord Azul? I can kind of see it. And I kind of vibe with it, not gonna lie. Is that control fallacy?
This Lord Lourdes seems to have a very egocentric view of the world. How would you classify this?
Personalization, then,
You're
maybe.
not wrong about that. You know the answer already. Dr. Drain needs me. I am what is missing in his unlife. You
There we
think
go.
This is all about you, but you're damn wrong. It's about Dr. Drain. Please. The man could die. Has died. And it hasn't made a damn bit of difference to anyone. Without me, he barely even has an existence. Poor fool. His penis was nearly mummified when I got hold of it.
Okay.
Hey, that's gross and also wrong. Dr. Drain existed long before you did. If you call that an existence. I am his hidden strength. I am his true essence. He is nothing without me, which he already realizes.
Overgeneralization?
Lord Lourdes seems to believe Dr. Drain is a completely insignificant part of his existence. Is this true, Samuel?
I am his hidden strength. I am his true essence. He is nothing without me, which he already realizes.
Is that more personalization then? Damn it.
Lord Lourdes seems to believe Dr. Drain is a completely insignificant part of his existence. Is this true, Samuel?
Is it control fallacy then?
I am his hidden strength. I am his true essence. He is nothing without me.
Damn it.
Lord Lourdes seems to believe Dr. Drain is a completely insignificant part of his existence. Is this true, Samuel?
In that case, it's disqualifying the positive because it's not a shit statement. There we go.
A lot of who you are is because of Dr. Drain. You know that fella denies himself a lot, and you do all them things he refrains from. Besides, didn't he make that plasma you sprung from? Do you know? You're absolutely correct. Very well. I'll give the little twerp his credit. He did bring me into existence, and what a wonderful existence it is.
Okay, so tomorrow what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to the Jekyll and Hyde musical soundtrack because there's some songs I need to listen to again. The world has gone insane, and parasites are eating at my brain. And nothing is the same it was before. A pack of wolves is howling at my door.
Were you aware that vampires possess absolutely no gag reflex? I can prove it.
For science!
I don't mess with my clients. But I'm not your client. That little rat man in tweed is. Of course he would deny himself the pleasure. You hear him talk about what he should do, but the sad creature cannot do those things. He should give in to me, and thanks to you, he has begun to.
Shit statement. Like, I know that song. I know that song. It's such a good song. Such a good song.
Come on now, you're really countering his shoulds with your shoulds? I think that proves there ain't no such thing as a should everyone agrees on.
But my shoulds are so much more entertaining. His have only bred him hundreds of years of pathetic existence.
Well, that don't make a damn bit of difference. I bet there are vampires a hell of a lot more depraved than you who think you should be doing things differently.
Really? Oh, you must introduce me. If there are holes I don't know about, I should very much like to know where they are.
How old are you anyway?
Dr. Drain's been summoning me for 14 years now.
Well, things are starting to make a lot more sense. You certainly sound like a 14-year-old.
The transformation has already begun. I will subsume him. His body and his mind will belong to me completely, and Dr. Drain will cease to be.
Is that control fallacy because you can't control what Dr. Drain does?
You're awfully confident about that. But I got bad news for you. You don't control Dr. Drain. He controls you.
Oh, darling. The little doctor controls nothing at all, least of all himself. Make no mistake. He shall be mine.
Oh yeah? And how do you know that?
I know the little wretch far better than you do. He hasn't changed in centuries.
Was he in therapy then?
No, only in the modern age do we make do with such delusional exercises.
So not everything he does is predictable. I don't think you got a good reason to be so confident.
I think he's got many reasons to be so confident. I mean, look at him.
Are you trying to fill my head with doubts? Do you even think that such a thing is possible?
Okay, so with the doctor, he was kind of giving me like, this guy will lecture you about like the brothers Karamazov and Nietzsche until sun rises and bore you to death. Well, and that's his attempt at like chatting to someone he finds attractive, is to essentially like mansplain like Russian like philosophy and the French art movements and science and stuff like that. Lord Lourdes will just buy you a drink. 2 seconds later, you were like bent over at his office desk, and you have no idea how you got there, but you're having a great time. Oh my god.
There is no such thing as doubt for beings such as we. We live or we die. That's all. And I will live.
Are we gonna try and therapize like the two of them to like find a coexistence? Are we essentially gonna try and solve the Jekyll and Hyde problem? Because I'm kind of down for this. We get to see more of Lord Luterus. There it is. Sorry.
The way you and Dr. Drain talk about each other, as though you're totally different people. You really think that's true?
I bet Dr. Drain thinks about the Roman Empire at least 6 times a day. Oh, I bet he does. I bet he does, and I bet then he goes on fucking Reddit and then goes into all the comments about like both the Roman Empire, Nietzsche, and his own scientific field and blood science and stuff like that, and just actually everyone's comments, and he gets downvoted all the time, and it pisses him the fuck off.
Have you spoken with our pathetic little doctor? You know, he doesn't drink real blood. That's why he's so weak.
Hold on, how's he even alive if he's not drinking blood?
Oh, the little ball of shame didn't tell you. He's not even a vampire. He drinks that synthetic trash he produces instead of real blood.
I mean, he made a synthetic blood. That's either disqualifying the positive in the fact that he made his own blood substitute, or it's overgeneralization that he's not even a vampire. I think it might be overgeneralization. Shit.
Lord Luritus seems keen to diminish Dr. Drain, but is his assessment fair or logical?
Okay, is that disqualifying the positive? There we go.
Just discount everything about Dr. Drain just because he doesn't drink fresh blood. The guy's managed to live for 430 years. He's got to be doing something right.
Wait, is he a vampire or a dumpier? He would be a vampire, so even if... Depending on the mythology of the vampire fiction, rules of vampires in whatever fictional universe it is, I think you're only a dumpier if you are half vampire, so one of your parents was a human. So for most vampires, even if you drink purely animal blood or synthetic blood, then you're still a vampire because you are still consuming blood, even if it's not from a living, breathing person, I think.
Besides, let's say you get your wish and everyone just becomes vampire food. Where are you gonna get blood when everyone's dead?
Well, you raise a valid point. Perhaps I'll start a mortal farm. Yes, that's it. They'll walk on all fours and be completely naked at all times.
And that's how you get the attention of the cops. Don't do that.
And raise stud mortals.
We're getting into some dangerous tender as the flesh territory. Absolutely the fuck not.
Oh, this has possibilities. Why, thank you, darling. Brilliance can come from such unlikely places.
Maybe this could have been solved a similar way you solved the issue of Therese and Jeanette in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Oh my god, could you imagine a therapy session with Therese and Jeanette Roman from Vampire the Masquerade? Oh my god, that would be insane.
Oh, dang, I wish I hadn't mentioned it. Why so shy, darling? You must have more experience than the dear doctor. I wouldn't be surprised if you were a 400-year-old virgin. If it weren't for me, his cock would have shriveled up like a raisin.
I think I'm gonna surprise you, Lord, whatever you're calling yourself, but I think you're right. Dr. Drain does need you. But like it or not, you need him too.
How very bloody dare you? What possible use could I have for a little turd like him? I am an animal, pure and perfect. I don't care what anyone thinks of me.
Vampires ain't animals, not even the worst of us. The moment we learned to talk and reason, living like beasts was out the window.
What a strange creature.
Hey, Spirit Wolf, welcome back.
Dressed like a buffoon, but speak like a philosopher. The buffoon is the more admirable of the two. At least he's honest. You and Dr. Drain lie and lie and lie to justify your existence. It's ridiculous to suggest that I need him. What could I possibly need him for? When I tire, I sleep. When I lust, I fuck. When I thirst, I kill. As it should be.
Should.
There it is again, that simple thinking and them shoulds that are only yours. Come the hell on. You think we vampires should just go on autopilot? Fuck, sleep, kill, repeat?
Well, naturally, we should ensure that those things are fun. Otherwise, what's the point in doing them?
That's it right there. I agree with you entirely.
About time. I'll remove my clothing then. Or perhaps I'll remove yours.
Excuse me?
Not so fast. You're missing the point. If we're doing these things because they're fun, well, everybody's got their own idea of fun. That's our human experience at work. Like me, for instance. I'm more of a high intimacy kind of lover.
Good to know.
Oh, boff. You managed to make even delightful things seem so heinous.
I'm only speaking the truth. What makes you so damn sure you know what being a vampire is anyway? Why do you think you've got it all figured out?
Lie to yourself all you like, darling. We're all alike. I know what you crave.
Overgeneralization?
There's
Yeah.
loads of us vampires out there, all with different experiences. You really think we're all the same?
We are animals, darling. Like all depraved animals, we exist to ensure we continue to exist. If we do not, we embrace oblivion.
Well, that's a heck of a jump. We ain't powerless against our baser instincts, far from it. We can be better people. We can live in harmony with others.
It is utterly pointless to fight our natures.
Hmm.
Oh, that poor mortal had a family. Who gives a damn? I'm thirsty. That poor mortal must consume in order to live, and so must I. He simply pretends not to enjoy it. I don't need to do any such thing. I love to kill. I love the taste of blood. Why would I love it if it weren't the only way to live?
Okay, that's one of the options we don't have.
Point is, you're gonna get real fucking bored if you don't find a reason to do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I need a purpose? That's a mortal concern. I don't need a fucking legacy. I need blood. The only thing I should do is what I was made to do.
Should statement.
You're just as bad as Dr. Drain with all them should statements. He keeps talking about what he shouldn't do, and you keep talking about what you should do. You both act so damn sure of yourselves. You're so damn sure blood is all you need. Oh, did I forget to mention all the fucking?
No.
Where you live forever. Food and sex is enough for animals. They got short lives. They get threatened and they die real quick. I know a lot of vampires who live like animals, and every single one of them is lost. Like him or not, Dr. Drain is your reason for living. Hell, if he didn't make this plasma stuff, you'd still be buried deep somewhere in his head.
Fuck you. Dr. Drain is a pathetic little liar, and I will destroy him. That's what he wants. Then I'll come for you.
Do you promise? I mean, what?
You're gonna kill me. You'd better be a quicker draw than I am.
Boys, no, stop fighting. Girls, you're both pretty.
You wanna try your luck, compadre?
No need. I do thirst, though, and I smell something downstairs. I smell mortals and virgins. Oh, how delicious. You've been holding out on me, cowboy.
You can drink what's in that bottle till Dr. Drain comes back. I ain't letting the likes of you near them people.
Good on you, Sam. Protecting the mortals downstairs. I'm proud of you, honey.
At least you're aware enough to know that I am a ravenous beast. And beast that I am, I must kill.
You will do no such thing to my mortals. Restrain yourself.
Daddy's home. Okay, fuck yes. Hi.
Oh, now who is this beautiful morsel?
At least he has good taste.
I am far older than any blood you have ever tasted, whelp. Do not dare to think you can overpower me.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Daddy.
Okay.
I will keep this poor animal contained, Samuel. You did excellent work in handling him. Deserve some rest. I will meet with you later.
Yeah. Can I watch the fight? Can I watch?
If you're sure.
Do not worry. I have no need to hurt.
Can I please be a fly on the wall for this? Please? Please, I want to see what happens. Please.
Well, now I'm just disappointed.
All right, Andy. I'll talk to you later. And Lord Lurid, or whatever your name is, think about what we talked about, huh? Dr. Drain's got something you need.
Oh, Vom, get out of here already.
Not you two.
No. Why we gotta fade to black? I want to watch what happened. Fuck.
Nation. Barely walked out of that one alive. I thought therapy was just talking.
You can't convince me Lord whatever he is isn't a bottom no matter how big he is. Biggie talks. Okay, Storykeeper, here's 1000% giving brat. And Anthromarchos is giving me like big brat tamer vibes, so I'm gonna leave those two to sort that shit out upstairs. But I just wish I could watch him put him in his fucking place.
I could use a drink.
If it isn't the Lone Ranger.
Okay, when we get back to our coffin, I'll have a look at my notes.
You look a little down, cowboy. Have a shot.
I don't mind if I do.
Rough one tonight.
You could say that. My client went a little feral. Tried to attack me.
That ain't good. I hope you booted their ass out.
Well, here's the thing. He wasn't himself. The fella, he can't stand being a vampire, so the vampire comes out in nasty ways.
Don't put yourself into too much danger, cowboy. Cleaning up a pile of ashes isn't my idea of a good night. So what? He just went and turned into a monster?
More or less. Went from a restrained fella to a hedonist beast.
How do you think you handled it?
I think I handled it pretty well, all things given.
All right. I learned a whole bunch bunch of cognitive distortions now, so I was still able to challenge the beast. Well, the way I figure it, he's still desperate for help, even if he doesn't act like it.
I can see why Andy likes you. A heart's still beating in there.
I'm a creature of the night, too. I just want to help my kin.
People like talking to you, cowboy. They can't help sharing their lives with you. Whatever it is about you, folks are always going to prefer talking to you over killing you.
I surely do hope you're right.
You know my big secret already. I wouldn't have told it to you if I didn't believe in you.
Oh, thanks for trusting us, Crimson.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Crimson. I'm humbled.
Quit it with the aw shucks stuff. Now you're just trying to be cute.
And making success visit.
Oh, these two are back. Hi. Hi.
Oh, hey, it's my little buddies. How's it going, kids?
Bad.
I'm sorry to hear that, Maxie. What's going on?
Make some room, Kinder. I've got customers to serve. Go talk in the kink room.
Okay, let's go.
Would you like to chat in the kink room, Maxie?
I would like that very much.
So what's going on, Maxie?
What's up?
My boss yelled at me today and made me sad.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, what happened?
Someone injected a malicious SQL query into our API and used it to execute code. We did not have our queries parameterized, so they were able to drop the user table entirely.
I kind of get that. I used to work in finance.
I warned the back-end developers that this would happen, but I got all of the blame.
That sounds like a real mess, Maxie. Reminds me of the time I forgot to lock the gate on a cattle drive. By morning, every last cow was gone, just like your, user table thing. Maybe your boss was hopping mad, but I bet next time they'll listen to you.
Am I the only one who is now aroused?
I keep forgetting that it's Matt Mercer who does the voice of Reinhard, so when he says lines like that, it just, like, catches me off guard, like, Sir!
No, Reinhardt, I am also aroused.
I used to work in finance, new law. Yeah, my previous job that I got made redundant from, I won't name the company or anything like that, but it was a pretty secure, like, high security position, at a trading firm. And, I girl bossed my way to that. I started out as, what do you call it? A temp, that was it. I was a temp on reception for a few months, and then they asked me to come back to help with some admin work, and I managed to get all of the work that they needed to get done in half the time. So they just let me stick around for the rest of the time I was contracted from and help them out with other stuff. And then a couple of months later, when another position opened up, they asked me to come back in. So that is how I girl bossed my way into a trading firm job. With no financial certification, no bachelor's or anything like that. Just hard work, working throughout, being very good at admin. I was very good at my job, not gonna lie. That's very cool. Did you like the work? It was fine. Like, the admin side of things was just very rinse and repeat. So honestly, it was a perfectly fine job to give me enough stability that I could work on nurturing my creative career until I eventually got to a point where I got a promotion to a much better position, higher up in the company, and I did that for a year, and then I was made redundant. Got a good severance package, and now I'm doing this full time and having a great time doing it.
Okay, get on over here and pass me some neck.
That's one way to say it. Okay. Okay. Careful.
I feel as though all my worries have been sucked away.
I am well acquainted with this feeling, Hazi.
And you will be once more.
Damn, okay.
I think that's my cue to get to my coffin.
You scared the American away, Maxie.
I suppose I am a very bad girl.
I'm gonna leave you two to sort that shit out in the kink room.
All right, I'm out. Bedtime for Sam. I'll see you kids later.
Okay, I want to look at my notes though.
Samuel, greetings.
Hi. Let me just have a quick look at my notes for my clients. Okay, let's look at the last one we had for... Ooh. There's the lovely Irish girl. Where is she? There we are. Maddie. Session 1. Medi is feeling overwhelmed by her followers on social media and their demands. She relies on them for food and help dealing with mortals. Talks about mortals as if they're all the same. Spends a lot of time online. Creates strong one-way attachments with her followers. Needs to get outside. Bad at boundaries. I think next time I should figure out why she's got such a simple view of mortals. Maybe she'd better off if she didn't see them as ants. Interesting. That reminds me, I can apply for affiliate now. That's awesome. Congratulations, Sam. And session 2. Dr. Jeroen transformed into Lord Luridus during our session today. That dude has got some issues. Luridus hates Dr. Jeroen and Jeroen hates him. Luridus loves what Jeroen rejects, blood and sex. Luridus believes in acting like our animal selves without apology. Where Jeroen is scientific, Luridus is unscientific. Luridus is extremely confident. I got to talk to Dr. Jeroen about where this Lord Luridus comes from and see if I can't get these two fellas speaking the same language. Okay, so our next client, I'm assuming, is going to be Isabella. Okay. Extremely high-minded, major issues with the former husband. Thinks most people are corrupt, especially menfolk. I think that's a generalization. Hang on. Let me just make some notes. Because then it's important that I can then look back on these when we're picking things for next sessions. Hang on. Pen. Pen! If I shout pen, then a pen will magically appear in my hand. I think overgeneralization was her thing. Oh, that's complete chicken scratch. I forgot just how good this game is. It's so good, isn't it, Spirit Wolf? It just has so many interesting layers to it that it would just uncovering new cool things day by day. What are some other ones? I think labeling was another issue she had. I just wanted to make a quick note of that while that was fresh in my mind. Okay. Hi.
Oh, hey, Andy.
What is wrong, my friend? You don't seem your chipper American self.
I guess I ain't too happy to be seeing tonight's client. I'm still feeling the tongue lashing she gave me last time.
Ah, yes, the Senora d'Este. She certainly has a way with words.
It ain't that. It's just this sense I get. Like she thinks I can be a certain way just because she tells me to.
Aha. At least that makes her core distortion clear, doesn't it? You know what it is, of course.
Is it Nosferatu thinking? Like, she had a very kind of dire perspective of the world, wasn't it?
Is it Nosferatu thinking? She's sure a lady of extremes.
She is, but what's the type of extreme thinking she exhibits?
Let's see.
It was the control fallacies, wasn't it? Like, not being able to control the way art is moving in the world?
That lady's got control fallacies out the wazoo, and they've given her centuries of stress.
I do not know this term, wazoo, but you are correct. The woman who chooses immortality so that she can ensure her family makes the correct decisions probably has some control issues.
And taking out her stress on me.
Do not take her criticisms too much to heart, my friend. You are simply a convenient target, an element within her control.
That still don't make it much fun.
I will not deny that Senora d'Este is a confrontational client, but take her presence as a gift, however you can.
I will do my
A
best.
woman so powerful in her time has much to teach us.
Do we know who the voice actor for Andy is? I'm pretty sure someone looked it up last week, but might need a refresher, so I can see if I follow them on Blue Sky.
You have all the tools you need at your disposal to help her. Consider your approach.
Okay. I think overgeneralization, labeling, Nosferatu thinking, and I think personalization as well, because she was quite self-centered. Yeah, I think these are the best fits.
All right, I think I'm ready.
I will leave you to meditate then. Be well, Samuel, and let this 3,000-year-old tell you, You are a fantastic therapist.
Oh, thank you.
Oh gosh, you're gonna make me blush. Get on out of here, boss. I can handle this.
I know you can.
Stop.
I think I'm ready. And here she comes. A deep breath. Howdy, Senora. Nice to see you again.
Cyrus Namati, let me... I'm so sorry to get distracted. I'll be with you in just a moment, Senora. I just want to see if I'm already following them. Cyrus. Okay, interesting. So he is also the creator of Vampire Therapist. I am now following them on Blue Sky. But they have a wonderful voice. I didn't know they created the game as well. That's so cool.
Liar. You are as pleased to see me as I am to see you, therapist.
We're gonna get straight into it, huh? All right, lay it on me. Why ain't you happy to see me?
Because you are a worm.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been called a lot worse. You're gonna need to be more specific than that, Senora.
You are a worm because of the way you wriggled into my mind the last time we spoke, leaving behind loathsome doubts. The only reason I am here is to confront you for your beastly behavior.
Okay.
I come to you in crisis, and you suggest that I am the cause of my own woe. Aren't you supposed to help me?
Senora, you came in here telling me that Art is dead. How am I supposed to help you with that?
I don't know. But telling me that my existence has been a complete waste of time is not comforting.
I did not say that.
I definitely don't remember saying that, Senora. What I said is that you ain't gonna change the world for anyone. But that doesn't mean your work wasn't worth anything. That's what I call... Nosferatu thinking. Remember what we talked about? There's always gonna be people who want Space Wars, and there's always gonna be people who want Michelangelo.
Michelangelo? Who is Michelangelo?
The guy what painted the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo.
Michelangelo did no such thing. Perhaps you are thinking of a man from New Jersey, or a turtle. It is Michelangelo.
Senora, you want to talk about wasting time? What's using me as a punching bag doing for you?
He was Ares and Dionysus and Theseus and Hades. Ah, okay. He's definitely got a voice that's perfect for a game like Hades, so that does not surprise me.
Very well. I will speak plainly. I am angry with you, Mr. Walls. Yes, perhaps not all I did was a waste of time, effort, and pain, but to think that much of it was. This is most horrifying.
Is that Nosferatu thinking? Or overgeneralization? Oh.
Listen carefully, Samuel. It is not only truth that harms the Senora, but also the way she perceives truth.
Yes.
Nosferatu thinking then?
Maybe
There we go.
If we looked at that wording you used, a waste of time, effort, and pain. Even if you didn't achieve your goals in them efforts, you can't just say they were a waste of time. Now, if you were sitting in bed for 400 years watching bad TV, then I might agree with you.
A disgusting notion. I am already dead. I do not need my mind to actively decompose by watching Batflix's latest trash.
So maybe let's reserve waste of time for trash, huh? I can see why it'd be upsetting to see something you put a lot of effort into not work out.
It is more than upsetting. It is devastating. I did not just fail to bring the understanding of true beauty into the world, I failed to bring it to my own familia. I watched them die, Mr. Walls. It was not the physical death that caused me the greatest pain, but the spiritual death. They had no care for the Gonzaga name nor the Deste name. Despite my sacrifice and all my efforts, they pissed away my legacy.
Damn.
Oh boy, sounds like there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh, there is.
It is a dark and painful story, Mr. Walls. A story where my greatest joy turns to ash, and I was powerless to stop it. When last we met, did I tell you about my son?
No, I don't think so.
Federico. Ah, my dear Federico, my little clown, my delicate artist, my beautiful boy. I suffered for him, Mr. Walls. I put up with my husband, Frankie, and all his brutishness, all his licentiousness. All for Federico. I raised him to be intelligent and clever, to understand the gentle arts and philosophy. I raised him to be a deste. But for all my efforts, I could not cool his Gonzaga blood. And it persisted for a century, to the ruin of our house.
I hate to break it to you, Senora, but every kid's got two parents, whether they know them or not. And kids have got minds of their own.
Indeed they do.
I refuse to believe that we are trapped by our blood. What was my destiny as a girl? Men of my time said it was to be servile and docile, a political pawn. What saved me from that fate? Knowledge, study, an appreciation of art, music, history, and literature.
All very admirable.
In the same way, I should have been able to save my son. But my failure did not end with my darling Federico. I was only 153 when the once great Gonzaga house surrendered all its honor to the hated Spanish.
Herbert Thompson, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Blue Rose Respite. I hope you're having a wonderful time with us this evening. Please take a seat if you prefer to lurk. That is awesome as well. But thank you so much for the follow and welcome.
I stood by, useless as a statue, as the Gonzaga name burned in the war of the Mantuan succession.
Oh, thanks for the stretch check. War of the Mantuan Succession?
What's this War of the Mantuan Succession all about?
Do you know nothing of history at all? Oh, very well. It all began because my fool of a great-great-grandson, Vincenzo II, did not listen to me. Instead of dutifully procreating with his wife, he decided to impregnate mistresses. When he ate himself into the grave, the line of succession was broken, and the French and Spanish swarmed upon my home like cockroaches. I killed a great many of them myself, but it was not enough. Eventually, the Gonzaga lands were given away to both countries. Of course, this is common knowledge. I would have had your tutors beaten.
Senora, the only tutors I ever had showed up after eating a can of baked beans.
Disgusting.
So wait, there's a whole ass war going on and you're supposed to stop it? How's that work?
I gave up my humanity to guide my familia through the ages. If I could not do that, what was the point of becoming undead?
Is that Nosferatu thinking?
Wait a sec, Senora. You're saying that if you couldn't guide your family, becoming a vampire was entirely worthless. Is that true?
Mr. Walls, what is our purpose other than to leave a legacy? Do you suggest we float through existence like spineless jellyfish?
You're a clever, intelligent woman, Senora. The opportunities you got ain't nothing like mine. You're taking it to extremes. I'm saying you're putting all your eggs in one basket, but you got loads of baskets and loads of eggs you're ignoring.
I do not desire those eggs or those baskets.
You know that for sure?
No, of course not. I understand what you are trying to do, Mr. Walls.
What am I trying to do, Senora?
You are trying to tell me that I've been living a lie for more than 400 years.
No.
I ain't doing anything like that, Senora.
Do not fret, peasant. We are in agreement. I have been living a lie. We all have.
Oh?
As I told you last time, I know my own foolishness. But time has not made my mortal concerns fade. In my mind, I know that virtue, love, chastity, wisdom, honor, these kinds of words were created by men to make us supplicant. But, fool that I am, I still love the idea of virtue. I have loved it ever since I was a child.
Is that labeling?
It ain't foolish to have ideals, Senora. Wanting to better ourselves is maybe the thing that makes us human.
Perhaps, but whose better do we strive toward? That I follow the better of old perverts is what makes me foolish.
Ouch.
Senora, people have been following the ideals of old perverts for thousands of years. Why are you a fool?
Do not mistake, Mr. Walls. We are all fools.
Oh, well, that's better then.
Mind your tone. I will tolerate a fool, but not an impertinent one. As I was saying, my folly was to fall in love with these ideals as a child. I used to love all the tales of Roman mythology. I saw myself in all the goddesses. I
So
saw
you
my
should, you're
strength
glorious.
and
Oh.
chastity in Diana. In Minerva, my wisdom. In Venus, I saw my timeless beauty and romantic nature.
Romantic nature.
Romantic nature, what a wretched pair. Here, do not look at me so. Yes, I was a romantic. Until reality came crashing down upon me.
No.
Look at this painting I had commissioned.
What am I looking at? I don't know much about art.
It's beautiful though.
The figures standing upon the arch are Venus and Mars. Mars is portrayed by my idiot husband Frankie. Beside him, I stand as Venus.
Oh, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be looking.
You're gorgeous.
You may appreciate my beauty, peasant, but do not let your eyes linger upon my once supple body overlong. This is art, not pornography. But look closer and you will see that even this art is a lie. This is the dream of a foolish girl. To be enjoined in pure romantic love with a handsome warrior. I believed so hard, Mr. Walls, that I thought I could make it true. But this handsome man is not Frankie. This is Frankie. He is not Mars, but Vulcan.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's got some abs. I'll give him that.
Yes, I did not shy from truth. But see how love's aim goes amiss and strikes his gangrenous penis rather than his heart.
I will say there are so many hidden layers to classical paintings that if you take the time to uncover them, they're actually kind of amazing.
See the grapes behind him, for the drunkard is never far from his true love. See how he flails helplessly, as if begging a true warrior to put a sword in his belly.
Okay, so I'm more acquainted with their Greek names of the gods rather than their Roman names. So Vulcan is Hephaestus, and so Mars and Venus are Ares and Aphrodite respectively. So okay, now I'm kind of picking up on it because Hephaestus is married to Aphrodite, and there he is like skulking in his cavern. Meanwhile, like the proud and handsome Ares is standing beside Aphrodite. Okay, there we go.
I'm sensing we've got some work to do around your husband.
Whatever gave you that impression? The man was created solely to crush my view of the world and my place in it. Naturally, I might have some issues around him.
Overgeneralization?
Senora Deste is suggesting her husband's improprieties were designed to hurt her, but I imagine this might be news to him.
The man was created solely to crush my view of the world and my place in it.
Personalization?
Senora,
There we go.
Whatever problems your husband had, they were problems he had before he even heard of you. Anyone he could have married would have had the exact same problems with him. Ain't nothing to do with you.
Yes, you are indeed correct. One cannot blame a boar for being a boar, even if you dress him up as a man. It would have been better for all if he had married a sow.
At least everyone's expectations will be lined up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Quite so, Mr. Walls. I now believe that Frankie was the truest man I ever met. That is what broke my heart. I maintained the illusion that he was my Mars because that is what I needed. I was not ready to face the truth. Oh, but I knew. Even as a 15-year-old girl, I knew. But I could not accept that I was married to the legendary penetrator of Mantua.
Ouch!
Is it any wonder that I prefer the lie of Virtu? Is it any wonder that I still prefer to believe it? The problem is men. You are all weak animals who would give up your dignity for an evening in the company of Lucrezia Borgia.
To be fair, Lucrezia Borgia was gorgeous, but that's a little overgeneralization.
Hold your horses there, Senora. I don't even know who the heck Lucretia Borgia is.
She was amazing is what she was.
She is the inventor of twerking. All men flock to her, as I'm sure you would.
And fun fact, she was also a little bit like, she sat in for her dad, who was the Pope at the time. So like in history, there was this moment where her dad, I think there was something off with her dad. Either he was unwell or out of the country, so she had to step in as almost acting Pope at the time. And the Cardinals did not like that. So there was this beautiful, beautiful girl sitting on the throne of the Popehood, like for a short period of time. And oh my God, I wish I was a fly on the wall during that. She wasn't a lady pope. She was like an acting pope for maybe like a couple of weeks or something like that, while her father was unwell or something like that. But also, Lucrezia Borgia is quite famous for also having what's called the Borgia ring, which you might know for being rings that can have a secret compartment in them for hiding substances, shall we say, for dispatching people that you don't like. I think also, like, with the Borgia ring, it was either like something that you could unclip and it had like a poison inside, or it was like you press down on the gem of the ring and then a poison needle would come out.
They say she was blonde, but she looked like a redhead to me. You know what they say about redheads. Kissed by Lucifer.
They're pretty.
Dang, Senora. Your overgeneralizations are building up and making you see whole groups of folks as awful. Now, I know you got your reasons for feeling the way that you do. Real personal ones. But recognize where your experience is making you narrow your thinking. I mean, Senora, I'll be straight with you, as you're a tough lady. Here's where I think it's coming from. You're comparing people to gods, including yourself. And everyone's failing that test. Frankie weren't never gonna be Mars. You weren't never gonna be Venus. You weren't born out of no shell.
And you will never be anything but a peasant.
Calling a spade a spade.
I'll be as surprised as anyone if I get invited to a high society dinner. I can tell I'm hitting a sore spot, but maybe that means that's what we've got to focus on.
I do not like you, Sam Walls. But you are correct.
Thank you.
I betray my own purity of spirit with my anger.
How do you spell her name again? Lucrezia Borgia. Lucrezia. Lucrezia Borgia. Borgia. There's a whole TV series called The Borgias. That's about the head of the family and Lucrezia and her brother. And it's apparently a great TV series. The head of the family, the dad, is played by Jeremy Irons. I need to watch it at some point. And it gets into the weird, let's say, Targaryen-style dynamic that Lucrezia had with her brother as well.
But I say, why should we not aim to be like the gods? Humanity is not worth preserving when we are such petty creatures.
Is that... Nosferatu thinking?
Humanity ain't worth preserving if we ain't like the gods. Come on, Senora. Even the gods weren't perfect.
Is that the new Pope show? No, that's a different show. That show that you're thinking of that I still need to watch, that's more set in more modern times. Lucrezia Borgia, they lived in Venice, I believe, and it was like the 1600s, I think? 1600s or 1700s in Venice.
You're ignoring the good about being human and giving the gods a mighty big pass on their flaws, too.
I suppose Jupiter was a bit of a fixer-upper. You should hear what he did as a swan.
Oh, I'm acquainted with the story of Leda and the Swan, and it is unpleasant.
I think I'd rather not. Senora, humanity is all we got. Even if we're immortal, every word we're speaking is a result of our humanity. Yeah, we make a lot of mistakes, and some of us sound like peasants. But all that messiness is worth something. It makes us who we are. Senora, I don't think you're a goddess. I think you're way more interesting and impressive, because you're real.
Well, you have great wisdom for a peasant, Sam. And your kerchief is a fetching shade of red that matches your eyes.
Aww! Was that a compliment? That's lovely.
Well, thanks, Senora. Let's focus on you, though. What happens if you're not that perfect goddess?
I suppose I have always felt that if I could not live to my ideals, I would be left with nothing. I would be discarded like Frankie's mistresses and die of some sex disease.
Is that Nosferatu thinking?
Senora, I don't think there's any universe where you're discarded. A woman of your strength and intelligence ain't ever gonna be forgotten.
Damn right.
Maybe things didn't turn out the way you hoped, but you made do with what you had pretty damn well. No matter what, you're holding a pretty nice set of cards. Just because you don't have a straight flush doesn't mean your life was worth nothing.
Please, Mr. Walls, do not say toilet words in front of a lady. But I understand your meaning. You are correct, I think. It is hard to imagine my falling so far. Oh, Mr. Walls, I know you speak the truth. I wielded great strength in an age where women were not respected. But I alone feel the weight of my family's collapse, so I feel responsible for it. But I was the only person capable of preserving my family, Sam. That is what makes my failure so poignant.
Is that personalization? Or overgeneralization?
The situation rarely resides with one person, if at all. Senora Deste's family probably played some part in their own fates.
Yep, control fallacy.
But I was the only person capable of preserving my family, Sam.
Senora, what if you weren't the only person capable of preserving your family? What if no one person was?
Spirit Wolf, thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate it. I know the ads are incredibly annoying, but they help me keep the lights on, as well as your incredibly kind subscriptions. So thank you so much for the resub. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't know. I never considered such a thing.
Well, try to consider it now. What if you accepted that whatever was going to happen to your family was going to happen?
You sound like a Calvinist.
Never mind with the labeling for now. How would you feel if you knew nobody can control what happened to the Gonzaga house?
I think I would feel relieved.
Okay, I think we're getting somewhere.
Senora, whatever happened to your family, fault never belonged to you. You were the one who named yourself responsible. No one else did. Look at who you are. And I think you can be damned impressed at who that lady is.
Hell yeah.
Damn you.
Too late, Senora. Look, let's wrap up tonight, huh? I think you did great. You probably got some stuff to think about.
Yes. Thank you, Sam. I will see you in a month.
Of course, Senora. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have a favorite myth? Mine is how Athena won Athens, Hermes stealing Apollo's cows, and Korean folktale of the sun and the moon. That's a good question, Storykeeper. Because, like, it blurs the lines between, like, myths and fairy tales, because I've got a couple of favorite fairy tales, but they are distinctly more fairy tales. They're not so much myths. Yeah, like, they're not coming to mind at the moment. Like, I've always liked the elements of the romantic aspects of some myths, such... I think the story, the tragedy of Orpheus and Eurydice is just so heartbreaking, and I really love it. Like, it's a tragedy in every way, but it's such a beautiful story, and it could be told so many times. Totally not at all because I love Hades Town so much, but I think the tragedy of Orpheus and Eurydice is just so heartbreakingly beautiful. That's probably the main one that comes to mind. Of course, there's elements of, like, Hades and Persephone and everything like that I really like as well. But I think the one I like the most is Orpheus and Eurydice.
Goodbye, Sam.
Samuel, it appears you have an admirer.
Do I have her approval?
Oh, shucks.
I think Isabella Deste has liked fewer than 5 people in her hundreds of years of existence, and you are one of them. Remember, though, that romantic entanglements between a therapist and client are absolutely forbidden, in case you are tempted.
Good to know.
Come on now, Andy. I ain't gonna do anything like that.
Of course, should the mind wander into fantasy, that is entirely acceptable.
Oh, you're just messing with me now.
I could not help it. It's rather cute. The First Lady of the Renaissance and humble cowboy Samuel Walls. Quite a picture, isn't it?
It's adorable.
Okay, that's it. I'm getting a drink.
I'm sorry, Samuel. Please, drink. Ask Crimson for the Royal Virgin. It's my very best. I think you deserve it.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever. You have a good night, Andy.
Rest in peace, Samuel.
Okay.
And I thought I had family problems.
Okay, let's look over my notes on Isabel. We really got into the Signora's family issues today, and there's a lot of them. She's hopping mad that they didn't meet her standards. Isabella died so she could control her family. It didn't work. Her husband and her son were both major disappointments to her, especially her son. She really hates the Spanish. Might be a little obsessed with her late husband's failings as a man. The Signora's still holding a lot of anger. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, though. Next time I'll see if I can't push a little more. Okay, next we've got Edmund Keane. After we've got had our session with Edmund, I think we'll call it a night.
I need me a Crimson special after that one.
Crimson!
Howdy,
There you are,
Crimson.
darling.
Think you could fashion me up one of them blood cocktails?
I reckon so. Got a lot on your mind tonight, cowboy.
I think maybe my favorite myth is the Gilgamesh because it's a lot of self-reflecting and introspection. Like the vibe I get from Adventure Time's the same vibe I get from reading the Gilgamesh, if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I've never actually read the Gilgamesh. I really need to, though. Like, similar with the Odyssey and the Iliad, I really need to sit down and properly read these texts. Like, same with Beowulf as well. Beowulf is another classic myth/folklore story that I really need to read at some point.
Yeah, just thinking about family stuff. I got this client who's got some real tough family issues to go through, and it got me thinking about my own, or my lack of family at least.
I think also, like, talking of mythology and stuff like that, one that I think also comes to mind is the whole, like, mythology of the Norse Ragnarok and how fucking metal it sounds. Like, Loki arriving with a ship full of the dead as, like, the underworld itself opens up and just hell is unleashed as Jormungandr, like, comes unraveled, and the Fenris Wolf, like, is there as well. It just sounds so fucking metal, and it's cool. It's really cool. Got some serious reading to do, Steph. I recently bought some new books as well about heavy metal and stuff that I've got to read.
You got any family left?
I've got a great granddaughter kicking around apparently, but she's got no connection to this old cowpoke. Not sure what she'd say if a man dressed like a cowboy introduced himself as her vampire relative from the 1800s.
I see your point. Sounds like you don't have many family problems then.
I reckon so. Family means a lot to my client, though. I hope my perspective's still useful.
How do you think she's handling her therapy so far?
I think pretty well.
I think she's doing pretty well, honestly. She spent a long time judging herself by her family's achievements, but I think she's starting to recognize the fruitlessness in that.
Seems like you don't need her family to be able to give her some hope.
I suppose not. Rich family problems were never going to be my specialty anyway. You got family back home, Crimson?
Yeah, I've got some family. We don't talk too much. I went a little wild after I got my diagnosis.
That's fair enough.
They're not too fond of my lifestyle choices, but hey, at least I'm alive. And I get to hear them gossiping about how I can age.
Well, you chose a good age to stop getting older. I often wish I weren't such a dusty old corpse, but death comes when it comes.
Sometimes he's still waiting for me to give him an opening.
Death always is. Pardon me for asking, but is there a reason you're choosing not to be a vampire?
There is, but I'm not talking about it tonight. A little mystery makes life a bit spicier, don't you think, cowboy?
That's completely fair as well.
Oh, I wasn't trying to pry or nothing.
Bullshit.
Ooh.
I know you're curious. Here, consolation prize.
Ooh, looks yummy.
But what is it?
Black Widow. Black stuff's just food coloring. Figured you were in the mood for a scary lady tonight.
Hell yes.
Thank you kindly, ma'am. Think I'll take this to my coffin for a quiet night.
You do that, honey. And don't spill in Andy's coffin. He'll act like he's not mad, but you know he's mad.
Why should I be upset? What has happened?
Not bad, cowboy. Get the hell out of here.
Okay, I'm going.
That was a pretty good
See you
impression, to be fair.
There we are. Gotta get me one of these fancy coffins for back home. Now, let's see. What am I in the mood for? I think I'm either gonna find a passage from Little Women that suits me, or I'm gonna watch Shemp get smacked in the head with a hot iron. Or I'm going to bed.
Let's read from Little Women, like a little bit of an excerpt on that in case it might serve me later.
I can always turn to the outcuts in my times of doubt. Somehow they got above it all and started exploring humanity. Now, where was that line? All right, here in chapter 8. I am angry nearly every day of my life, Joe, but I have learned not to show it, and I still hope to learn not to feel it, though it may take me another 40 years to do so. Yeah, that sounds like the Senora. Hope she doesn't have to wait too much longer, and that I'm not making it worse.
You're not, you're doing your best.
Well, that's enough fun for one day. Good night, son. See you in hell.
Oh, God. I love this game. Hi.
Greetings. I believe you are seeing our actor friend tonight, are you not?
Oh, we are, and it's gonna go horribly.
Yeah, I guess so. I still ain't sure I'm the right therapist for that fella.
Gaslighting son of a bitch.
Right therapist for him, but let us think positively. He has put himself in your care, and that is a tremendous step.
I wonder if you can fuck up so badly that they just walk away and never see you again. That could be interesting.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm thinking it's gonna be an uphill battle, though.
At least his core distortion is clear, don't you think? You know what it is, I am sure.
Personalization.
It's personalization, right?
Of course, a distortion common to many with narcissistic tendencies.
Yep, it's the Edmund Keane show all day, every day.
I recognize your disdain, but pause a moment. It must be difficult for Edmund to make everything all about him all the time, don't you think?
He doesn't have to make everything about him, though.
He doesn't know that. Keep digging, Samuel. You will find his truth. Choose your distortions well.
Okay, so I think with him it's labeling, overgeneralization, Nosferatu, because he's very dramatic. Control fallacy. And I think control fallacy, like not being able to control everything. Labeling, overgeneralization, Nosferatu thinking, control fallacy. I think this is right? Or at least this is a good starting point.
I think I'm all holstered up now.
Very good, Samuel. I wish you patience and compassion. Good luck.
Thank you.
See you later, Andy. All right, now what did Andy teach me? Breathe. I think I'm ready. Right on time. I think I hear him coming.
Okay.
Edmund, good to see you. How you been feeling these past few weeks?
Empty, my dear boy. Empty. I am but a vessel made for a single purpose. But alas, and alack, that purpose is in supply most rare.
You mean acting, right?
Aye, that's the rub. Acting, my dear boy.
Acting.
My thespian blood goes rancid with stagnation, and the only cure seems to me irreprehensible now. I do not wish to face these mortal directors, for they dare to tell me my art.
Ain't that what directors are supposed to do?
Kind of is.
Oh, my dear boy. Some are born great, some achieve
Greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them.
No director can thrust greatness upon the already great. In mine own case, mine greatness hath already been achieved.
There is no room for improvement in Edmund at all. Is he truly perfect? I am going to make an educated guess and say that this is untrue.
Overgeneralization?
Thrust greatness upon the already great. In mine own case, mine
There is no room for improvement in Edmund at all. Is he truly perfect? I am going to make an educated guess and say that this is untrue.
No director can thrust greatness upon the already great. In mine own case, mine greatness hath already been achieved.
Is that Nosferatu thinking?
Nobody's saying
There we
you're
go.
great, Eddie. You're talking in extremes. If every actor's awful or perfect, what the heck's a director supposed to do?
A most unenviable position, to be sure. I have directed, and did find it most odious. Indeed, a great actor can make the less talented seem even smaller.
But you get it. All the director's doing is making sure everyone's doing what they're best at, right?
Mm-hmm.
That ain't saying you ain't great.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose, but it is most frustrating when I know best.
Well, maybe you can help me understand a little better. You said that greatness was thrust upon you, right? How did that happen?
Ah, you are curious to hear what circumstances created this actor non-pare. I cannot blame you. Well, recounting such a history will please me indeed.
Go for it.
I first rattled the foundations of the stage as a mere babe. Indeed, too young for memory, and yet old enough to command attention. Clad only in swaddling cloth at the age of 4, I was Cupid himself. But my arrows seemingly went astray, for the entirety of the audience fell in love with me. It is the stuff of legend. For tender as my mind was, I could not bear witness to my own greatness. But it does prove that I was indeed born great.
Mm-hmm.
But you said greatness was thrust upon you.
It was a matter of necessity. You may not guess it from my gentle speech, but I am no lordling. Selfishly, and surely to spite me, my father shuffled off his mortal coil when I was but a babe in arms, ere I ever graced the stage. It left my mother and myself in dire straits.
Oh, it's terrible. Is that control fallacy?
It is an impressive distortion to believe that someone has died to inconvenience you. I am actually impressed.
Yep.
Selfishly.
Hold on.
There we go.
You said your old man died selfishly. Well, what do you mean?
Well, what kind of a father drinks himself to death when he has a beautiful baby son at home? I at least waited until my son was older before I did the same.
Okay.
Eddie, come on. Listen to yourself. I'm sure you didn't die to spite your son, just as your pa didn't die to spite you. I ain't gonna deny his choices hurt you, but they weren't all about you.
Forgive me then. 'Tis ever the fate of an actor to feel every emotion more keenly. The situation my mother and I were left in was most precarious. We were the lowest of the low, you see. We lived in the rookeries and begged for our bread. But he that hath wit must make content with his fortune's fit. And oh, did we beg. She was my Queen Gertrude, and I her filthy little Hamlet. Did I mention I played Hamlet at age 14?
That's impressive.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Well, anyway, my mother was a competent actress, but it was my wit alone that saved us from destitution. Forsooth, I was so prodigious that, at the age of 7, I garnered the attention of one Reginald Flopbot of the Worthington Flopbots. 'Twas he who paid to get me off the streets and into the dormitories. He said, "Edmund, my cherub, the streets are not for you. One day you will be the greatest of actors."
And indeed, you have blossomed, good sir.
Hey, how about that? You went and proved him right.
Piffle. Master Flopbot never gave a fig about my potential. I was a prop to him, a symbol of his generosity and high breeding. Every month, he would stage an elaborate party with all the well-to-do society of London. The dandy fop would stand upon a dais and announce himself as the savior of the city's poor. That was my cue. I would be lowered down from the rooftop, wearing naught but swaddling clothes and a set of opulent wings.
Oh
The
no.
gentry's delight was my dungeon. But I would flit among them, reprising my breakout role as Cupid by shooting little arrows of love at them.
Oh no.
At the age of 7, it was most disquieting. At 11, on the cusp of manhood, the shame was too much to bear.
Dang, Eddie, that sounds awful. That flopbot fella had no right to do that to you.
No, indeed. I remember my last performance quite vividly. The titters and leering glances from the guests linger ever in the back of my mind. And fool that I was, I played my part still. I should have plunged mine arrows into that fool Flopbot's chest instead of shaming myself.
Is that labeling, calling yourself a
You
fool?
were a fool for playing your part. What choice did you have, Eddie?
It is simple logic. Only a fool plays the fool repeatedly. Many a bottom have I known that never played the Dane, preferring the comfort of a familiar role.
I will say Bottom is one of the best roles in Shakespeare's canon. Bottom is in Midsummer Night's Dream, he is the actor who gets turned into a donkey and gets fawned over by Queen Titania.
Well, Eddie, it's a little reductive to say that everyone who plays the fool is a bottom. There ain't nothing wrong with letting your partner take the lead.
Sam, respectfully, that's not what he's referring to.
Oh, ye plebeian. I speak of Nick Bottom. From the Bard's Journey Through Whimsy, that is A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yay!
Yeah. Even so, though, if you call yourself a fool, you're doing the same kind of typecasting, ain't you?
I suppose so. Regardless, I did not suffer the indignity for long. I swore that night to never be a puppet again. I stole away and gave myself to the mercy of Poseidon. The bargain was struck, and he swallowed up my hated swaddling clothes and wings. In desperation, I signed on with a mercantile shipping agency. I thought perhaps that my body would bend more than my soul. But oh, did I toil! Life upon the sea is most cruel. Biting winds did carve my visage. Low words hardened my heart, and heavy weights left me bent. By the time I had fulfilled my bargain with the Lord of the Sea, I had become an older man, my efforts etched into every crease on my face.
Dang, sounds intense. How long were you at this job?
It's going to be something like 2 weeks.
An age, a life, 6 months, each one a hungry leech torn from my bleeding body.
A whole 6 months on a ship? How did you survive?
I am convinced this gauntlet was prepared for me alone. For ne'er in history has one so blessed by grace been subjected to such toil.
Eddie, I gotta stop you there. It's gonna be a lot easier to accept your truth when you realize you ain't alone in your suffering. Hell, there ain't nothing more human than suffering. And historically, kids ain't had it so good.
But none suffered as I suffered. A boy such as I was not meant for such misery.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Compadre, I had my first kill and no home at 12 years old. My brother had to stutter his whole life on account of the regular beatings my stepdaddy gave him. Maybe your suffering felt like the only suffering in the world, but it wasn't. And it'll hurt less when you realize you weren't alone. But keep telling me your story. I already know there ain't nobody like you in the world, so don't worry on that account.
Now then, at last, we close the circle as nature ever demands. I return to London and into the graces of my dear Uncle Moses and his comely mistress, Charlotte. 'Twas she who filled my dramaturgical quiver with dire arrows fletched by the bard himself. And when my deft fingers plucked the bow of humanity, at last I was free.
Huh?
I cannot speak more plainly. The good woman taught me the works of Shakespeare, and armed with this knowledge, I conquered the stage and saved myself from toil.
With the power of words. Admirable.
Oh, well, right.
And so, you see, the die was cast from the moment I was born. The stage was made for me, and it was my skill upon it that saved me from the streets, and saved me once again from a life at sea.
Is that personalization?
Eddie, my man, I got some good news and bad news for you. The truth of the matter is, fate doesn't give a stable full of horseshit about you.
I love it that Sam is just like so direct with his clients, just like, hey, you know, cut straight through the bullshit. No one gives a shit about you.
Ain't none of us are that special. The world ain't waiting for us to show up. It's just gonna keep turning.
Perhaps you are right, my dear boy. You are correct. My success was not because of the fates, but in spite of them. The fates said, Edmund, you are a child of the slums. But I shamed the immortal hags in my own manner. The stage roused my spirit. Thus I knew my destiny lay upon it.
I can see why acting means so much to you, Eddie. I probably feel damn near the same about the things that got me out of my bad days.
Thank you. Then you understand how my alienation from the theater does pain me so. And yet, the cure is as deadly as the illness. These damnable critics, not a single lifetime among them, and they deign to challenge my interpretation of the written word. They simply cannot relate to my singular experience. I will bare my soul upon that stage, and they will all sneer and malign it on their internet profiles.
But you can't control that.
For someone that lives for adulation, Edmund has a dim view of his fans, don't you think?
Okay, is that either overgeneralization or labeling?
I cannot relate to my singular experience. I will bare my soul upon that stage.
You're so
There we go.
certain that damn critics are all the same, but I think that ain't being honest with yourself. Not all critics are bad. It takes work to be good at something, so of course the decent critics are gonna be rarer.
What you say rings true, indeed. Although past critics were flabbergasted at my portrayal of King Lear, not all were. And modern perspectives have affirmed that my interpretation was nothing short of brilliant.
Good.
Yeah, you get it. I took a look at your Wikipedia entry last night, Eddie. Well, maybe you've had a few bad critics here and there, but history says you're a legend, and your work speaks for itself. Hell, you were around before film was ever a thing, and people still remember you.
Ah, your words warm me, as an heir-sat son for the one we have forsaken. With thy help shall I gird my soul mayhap, and grace the stage once more.
Well, let's talk about that then. What's the biggest thing stopping you from getting back up on that stage right now?
That it all simply might not be worth it. Why should I bear my damned soul when the audience hath not the sight to see it?
Maybe I can ask you a question then. What if there were no audience?
No audience? Do you know what a stage is, sir? It is a platform where life in brief may be portrayed. It is a platform because it is separate from the audience. Without such, the stage ceases to be a stage.
As in, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Simply but elegantly put, my dear boy. Without the audience, the stage loses all meaning, like a monarch without a kingdom.
Overgeneralization?
Humanity existed for tens of thousands of years before the stage was ever conceived of, and somehow we survived.
Nosferatu thinking then.
But elegantly put, my dear boy. Without the
There we go.
There, partner. You're saying that the stage is nothing without the audience. But I gotta ask you, where does the acting come from?
but from simple tongues, the purest of queries, narrow in breadth, but as deep as the sea. The source of acting is everything, my boy. The beating of every heart, the cry of every child, the fluttering of a butterfly's wings. The roots of acting are intertwined with those of life itself.
Indeed.
So does acting come from the audience or from everything?
My dear boy, you prove yet again, as the bard oft did, that 'tis the fool who sees the truth as it is. I bow to your simple wisdom.
Thank you.
Thanks, I guess. Let's figure out how we can bring it back to acting. Forget the audience. I know we can't see in mirrors and all, but what do you think of filming yourself?
Brilliant notion. Yes, I shall become my own audience.
Oh no.
I shall bring myself to rapture. Forsooth, if I cannot pleasure myself, whom can I pleasure?
That's an interesting choice of words. We feel like we're going to unpack that.
We're still talking about acting, right?
Yeah, clarification needed.
Oh, my dear boy, the pleasures of the flesh are secondary to one who knows character above all else. Indeed, we speak of the noble arts.
Okay.
I shall do as you suggest. If there is one on this lonely orb that can inspire an artist such as I, it is myself.
Is he gonna come back with just like mascara full, like pouring down his face, just like, I looked at myself in my filmography and I was most dissatisfied. How could my talents have festered and failed over the years?
I ain't sure I'd put it exactly that way, but I think you're touching on the thing we've been talking about. The motivation's got to come from you, amigo.
Okay, Dinger TM, I missed the initial introduction to the option, but is Nosferatu thinking related to things we lose forget because of immortality? It's more like do or die mentality. Like, I'll jump back to what it said in the previous descriptor. Where is it? Sometimes things can seem black and white. It's very black and white thinking. Win or lose, famine or feast, live or die. Like everything's a big showdown. I feel like we've only got two options, winning the day or ending up on the stake in the heart. So it's like black and white kind of dire sort of thoughts.
We are of one mind, dear boy. Perhaps I left my muse in the mortal realm, but I shall find him once more. Not only for myself, but also for my public. Yea, the masses flock to my Wikipedia page as moths to a flame, each a silent plea for the return of the one true artisan of the stage.
Now hold your horses there, fella. You're reading a little too much into the whole Wikipedia thing. There's 1.5 million reasons why people might be looking you up. I mean, I hear tell the biggest Wikipedia page out there is the one for that coronavirus that got all them mortals all worked up. And I'm pretty sure they don't want that coming back.
And thus dost thou scuttle a burgeoning friendship with the cannons of enmity. Why must you challenge me so?
Because I'm your therapist? That's my job?
That's my job, compadre. Ain't we had some good breakthroughs today? We couldn't have gotten there if I'd been busy agreeing with everything you said.
Very well. But I still say you are most vexatious.
Vexatious. That's a word I need to use more often. It's such a good word. And it looks pleasing. Vexatious. It's delightful to say. It looks good. I need to start using that word more often.
I've been called worse. I think we got some homework for you, though, right? You're gonna film yourself and do some acting for its own sake. We'll check back in a few weeks. But Eddie, I think you're doing great.
I think so
We made
too.
a lot of progress today.
Naturally. The human condition is my oeuvre. Nevertheless, you have been a competent guide. You have reminded me of what is most important in unlife. Me.
Cool. Glad we can make progress.
I'd like to give you a gift.
Oh?
Oh, come on. You don't need to do nothing like that.
Is it going to be an autograph? Like a signed photo? I knew it!
It is meaningless to me, but it is beyond price for you. It is my headshot, signed with my autograph.
I fucking knew it!
Oh, thanks, Eddie.
Cherish it always. If you help me to find my muse, then it is a gift even more precious. And I will find it ere we next meet. Of that, I promise you.
Well, let's not put the pressure on, amigo. Just enjoy some acting. That's all I'm asking for. I'll see you in a few weeks then, okay?
Verily, so it shall be. Godspeed then, boy. Thou shalt witness me new and on. Farewell.
A job well done, Samuel. I was particularly impressed at the way you challenged Edmund on what acting means to him.
Yeah, he's a weird fella, but I think he's gonna do okay.
Amazing.
It can be hard for our kind to retain our intrinsic motivation. Something must keep him going. I do hope that he will find his. But you, Samuel, must rest. The work you have done in these past 2 months deserves to be celebrated. So do not linger here in this dusty room. Perhaps you can even be encouraged to dance.
Yes, dance!
I think I'm gonna need a lot more therapy myself to get to that point.
Oh, fine.
Very well, Samuel. Then let us at least make sure you get well nourished. Find a friendly neck downstairs, my friend. You deserve it. And rest in peace.
Okay, that went well.
At least they don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys, but maybe don't let them be actors either.
Okay, let's have a look at our notes. Edmund tied his whole identity to the stage because the stage saved him from the streets when he was a kid. Obsessed with the audience, disqualifies the positive about any other actors, definitely suffered abuse as a kid, still thinking the same way as he did as a kid, that the stage was always going to offer salvation. I suggested Edmund try acting for its own sake. He forgot the fun while he was looking for safety. I hope it goes well.
Time to dish with Crimson a little. I gotta talk to some more folks, though. Andy's mainly my teacher, so I'm starting to feel like Crimson's my only friend. Hey, only friend.
Excuse me?
What? Oh, yeah, Crimson. Hey, Crimson.
Are you blushing, vampire?
Maybe a little.
No, that ain't possible.
It's all right. It's nice to hear from a vampire who's younger than Jesus. Now, let's hear how this week went before you go out there and find friend number 2.
All right, real quick. This client of mine, he had a real bad time as a kid. Worse than I did, it sounds like. But he found fame early, and now he's talking about fate and how he's destined for greatness again.
Met plenty of destined for greatness folk in DC. I lost patience for it. How do you think you handled him?
Pretty good.
I learned my lessons from the last session. He didn't threaten to jump off a cliff this time or anything.
Success!
I gave him an assignment to film himself doing something he loves doing. He seemed excited about that.
You're either brave or adorable, Sam Walls.
He's both.
There's nothing brave about it. as for adorable, well, some have used words to that effect before.
Crimson's gorgeous, isn't she?
Okay, now I know you're confident enough to get out there. Giddy up.
Here we go. Right to the edge of the dance floor, but not on it. Don't want anyone getting any funny ideas.
Once more alone, I see.
Panoptibella, hi girl, how are you doing?
Scared the shit out of me.
But you can't shed. You're a vampire. Know that I see much, vampire, and that I like what I see.
Oh?
Oh, it's her again. Well, I was hoping to find a mortal friend, or at least a willing Nick. Now, what do mortals of this time talk about?
Be awkward about the weather, be awkward about everyday annoyances, or be awkward about music. Let's talk about the music.
They ever play the classics in here? A little Oh Susanna or Old Folks at Home?
No, they don't. All your favorite songs have been long forgotten now.
Well, what songs do you like?
If I told you, would you know them?
Probably not.
I see.
You see a lot, don't you?
Why don't you tell me what you see?
I see an interesting mortal. Someone observant. Someone who isn't afraid to have their own style.
Very cool sense of style.
That is what you observe. It is not what you see.
Well, fine, you tell me what I see.
You see the long vein across my throat. It looks very juicy, doesn't it?
Well, now that you mention it, it does.
Then consent is given. Do not hesitate, vampire.
Okay, I love her. She's just so straightforward about what she wants. Like, hi, you like me? You like the look of me? I consent to you biting me. Crack open a warm one. Okay.
Shucks, that was something else. You got good circulation there.
I see. And what do I taste like?
Kinda earthy. You could use some iron. What do you eat most often?
I eat a lot of carrots. They're supposed to be good for one's eyesight, and I like to see. I see now that you are tired and wish to enter your state of torpor.
Well, maybe I'll see myself out then.
Hey. Come on, that was cute.
That's offensive.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
I'm going to leave now.
Damn it.
Shoot, was it something I said? Well, at least I got a full belly. And now, time for some shut-eye.
Okay, let's wrap it up there.
I believe you are seeing the Ancient One tonight, aren't you?
And we will save that for next time. Let's quickly save. And back up save. Okay. Let's head back to menu. There we go. Alrighty, so let's wrap these up now. This was wonderful. This game is fantastic. I'm having so much fun with this. Like, it's really interesting, really fun. I really like the writing and the voice performances are all fantastic. And also there are all these extra nights that we can play after we finish the main game. And there is also a DLC. Hang on one second. Let me just get back into my normal position. There we go. There is also a DLC for couples therapy, so that is something to keep in mind. If you guys are really enjoying this, then I will consider picking up the DLC and we can continue it with more Vampire Therapist after we've done the main game, because that could be a lot of fun. So, thank you so much for joining me tonight, my lovelies. Tonight was fantastic. Thank you so much again for the follows, for the resubs, for the bits, and for the donation towards mermaids. Every little bit goes a long way, and it's all hugely appreciated. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and if you've been lurking in the shadows and you like what you've seen so far, then please consider following. We would love to have you back at the Blue Rose Respite. You're welcome anytime. Be sure to check out my socials that are popping up in the chat right now, including my 2 YouTube channels, one for my ASMR tales and the other for my Twitch VODs, and my Blue Sky, my Insta, and my TikTok. I have an ongoing 24/7 broadcast over on my main YouTube channel, which is a collection of ASMR tales and creepypasta narrations, so be sure to say hello and give that some love. Okay, let's see who's currently live. Let's see. Wait, what? Dinga, thank you so much for the £15 donation towards mermaids. It's so appreciated. Thank you so much, Dinga. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your incredible contribution. Thank you. Aw, that's a wonderful thing to end the night on. Thank you so much. Managed to get that in while the button's still easy to click. Oh, but thank you so much. We're still running the charity until the end of the month, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Why don't we go say hello to... Why don't we go say hi to Thaf9? Because we haven't said hi to Thaf in a while. I'm going to send you guys over to see Thaf9. I think they're doing something special on the channel at the moment. So I'm going to send you guys over to Thaf. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, my lovelies. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. And we will be continuing Cage of Roses on Friday. So I hope you can all join me for that, for some more vampires, except they are two lovely ladies who are going to get deliciously entangled with complicated feelings. But thank you so much for joining me tonight, my lovelies. I will see you on Friday. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, stay wicked and wonderful. Good night, my lovelies.